It sound like some Viking music, don't it?
Yeah, gotta get it out the mud, that's the only way to win. Who am I to point the finger like I never ever seen? Been through the ups and downs like the letter N. They don't let you through the door, better kick that again. Cause that's the only way to win. That's the only way. Gotta get it out the mud, gotta get it out the floor.
Shooting lights out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Shooting Lights Out, sponsored by Fanatics, Paramount Plus, and Lids. Welcome to the show on this Feel Good Friday, May 17th, 2024. Hope you had a great week of a lot of great things today. You know, sports is at a good time. Schedule release for the NFL happened. NHL playoffs happened. WNBA tipped off, and the conference semifinals of the NBA has continued to be stellar. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about the WNBA. Matter of fact, that might be the main event today. We're gonna talk about the conference semifinals because we nearing the end of the conference semifinals, getting into the conference finals of the NBA. So we almost down to the final four. That's how I was to put it in college basketball terms. I might be having some guests with me on today's show. Should be fun. Talk about the things that's happening and everything around the hardwood. Okay, so let me jump into the chat real quick. My boy Victor, he's in the building. What's up, Victor? He said he was tuning in today. He kept his word. He's in the building. What's going on, Victor? Hope you had a good time. Hope you and Snowman did well on y'all show this week. Man, oh man. But you know, I can't begin the show without giving you news and notes. So let's go around the hardwood, shall we? And to kick off around the hardwood, the WNBA says charter flights for teams will be in full effect by next week. Okay, there was some misinformation or discrepancy, you'll say, when it comes to the charter flight thing. The Indiana Fever had charter flights when they went to begin their season and whatnot. You have some teams that had to fight commercials. Other teams flew with charter flights. But by next week, all 12 WNBA teams will be able to have charter flights to protect their players, which they should do. So, a little miscommunication to open the week. No problem. It happens. But the WNBA has ensured by next week there will be charter flights for every team. So we shouldn't have that problem going forward, which is a good thing. Happy they got that straightened out quick, fast, in a hurry. Cool McCain's in the chat. Cool McCain might be joining me, and if he does join me, we got to talk about his Denver Nuggets because what happened in Game 6 was, that was not a welcome sight, if I do say so myself, when it comes to the Denver Nuggets. But we'll talk about that. But it was only Game 6, but they give you something to look forward to. So now let's move on to the next news and notes I got for you. Victor Wembanyama headlines French preliminary Olympic roster. Well, we already know that we was gonna have. We already knew we was gonna have Victor on the French team. We was gonna have Rudy Gobert on the French team. So there was no surprises there. So they're gonna have 2 7-footers on their team. They wanted to have 3. They wanted Embiid, but Embiid chose the United States instead. But Wemby will lead the cast of Rudy Gobert. Evan Fournier will be on the team. Lucas Batum would be on the team. Those are the key names, as far as I know right now. I haven't heard any other key names. Any guys who plays in the NBA that's going to be playing for the French team. But doing 4 guys: Victor Wembanyama, Rudy Gobert, Evan Fournier, and Nicholas Batum will be on the French Olympic team, seeing they can do something they haven't done and show up in the Olympics and do something special. So, but they will have some tall guys, so it's going to be interesting to see how teams, other countries will try to score on the French team with Victor Wembanyama and Rudy Gobert manning the inside. But yeah, but that's in a couple of months. We're talking August, okay? Next up, Tyrese Maxey wins NBA Sportsmanship Award. This award goes to the player who shows sportsmanship throughout the season, who was a good sport, no matter wins, losses. And the NBA felt that Tyrese Maxey was the main one who showed the greatest sportsmanship of the season. So that's good to see him win that award. And I just forgot that was an award, to be honest. Once Nikola Jokic won MVP, I thought I was it for awards. I forgot we had that one. That tells you a lot. But nevertheless, congratulations to Tyrese Maxey being the sportsman of the year for the NBA. Should be a feel good accomplishment. Plus, he was also the most improved player of the year, by the way. So he got 2 awards this year. Let's not forget that. He did come down with 2 awards. So that's good for him. And we'll see what happens going forward with the 76ers. They got a lot of questions to be answered. But Maxey is not one of them. But nevertheless, good work for him and what he has accomplished so far in his young NBA career. See if he can do more. All right. And then finally, here's some news I think McCain would like to address at some point. Or any other body that pays attention. We do have Cavs to take time to evaluate J.B. Bickerstaff's future. Second round exit, conference semifinal exit to the Boston Celtics, which I will get into in the next segment. Also, they have to look around and see what Donovan Mitchell wants to do. So there's a lot of questions going on in Cleveland, by the way. And on the other note, it's not in here, but speaking of decisions, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Jamal Murray. Come to find out he suffered an elbow injury during yesterday's Game 6, which played a role in how he played in Game 6, and see how significant that will be. But we'll get to that in our next segment when we recap the NBA playoffs thus far, because we're either at Game 6 or we at Game 7. So one series is done, but yeah, J.B. Bickerstaff, we'll see what Cleveland's going to do, what they decide to do. If they want to do a coaching change, which is most likely from the early talks surrounding this situation. The early talks is J.B. Bickerstaff might not be back in Cleveland to coach the team. Early talks. I'm saying early talks. Nothing just definitive. I'm saying early talks right now. He might be getting fired. Might. So we shall see how that goes during the summer. And what the Cavs will do, what Donovan Mitchell does, and see if the Cavs can do something to figure out what they want to do. All right. So that's the round of hardwood. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our commercial break here. And when we come back, we're going to dive into the NBA playoffs because the conference finals, as I said earlier, are nearing the end, and we're about to get ready for conference finals. So we'll be back.
The largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant. Weather. Devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States. Inspiration. A breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy, and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another beating a dead horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network proudly presents The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday morning beginning April 29th at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Into the Net FC. Kylian Mbappe just all of a sudden finally understood his role, and I think he finally understood that everything Kylian Mbappe has accomplished already, there is still a hell of a lot waiting for him in the future. Kylian Mbappe is only 24 years old. He has accomplished so much, and you know what? Kylian Mbappe has not even reached his prime. Finally seeing, the Marcus Rashford we have been hoping for such a long time, But, this game, after everything Manchester United has been, doing lately, this was actually the ultimate test, to see if Manchester United, honestly was all of a sudden for real. I explained this. The United States, maybe they have to suffer this loss as a lesson to learn to prepare for the future. Because 4 years from now, the World Cup is in not one, not two, but 3 countries. The United States of America, Canada, and Mexico. Into the Net FC is available on all streaming platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and YouTube.
Shop hats and official sports gear at Lids. Lids is the leader and #1 destination for hats, gears, and everything that moves you, making it the perfect shop for fans to find official sports hats, merchandise, and gear. Represent your team, your town, and your style with a snapback adjustable fitted hat or beanie from thousands of college and pro teams. Browse the very latest sports jerseys and t-shirts from the best teams out there. Lids has officially licensed professional and college sport team apparel and hats featuring the hottest brands and trends. Shop online or visit one of the 100 stores across the country. Locker Rooms by Lids.
Hey.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Shooting Lights Out. And you seen what happened going on. And y'all seen the commercial of Lids. Right now, Lids is doing 25% off site-wide on their website. The link is in the show notes if you want to get you some custom hats, or rock your favorite team hat and whatnot. You can do Lids. And also, we also sponsored by Fanatics. And with Fanatics, they're doing free U.S. shipping on orders over $24. So go ahead, get your gear, get your sports gear. And we got playoffs happening in the NHL and in the NBA. We already know what the schedule's looking like for football season. So don't wait till August and September to get your gear. You can get it now and have it ready for you. So with that being said, let's get back into it. And we're going to talk NBA playoffs. Let's go. As we talk NBA playoffs, first, we have one series that's done. The Eastern Conference Final, bleeding green once again. And those of you who know, you already know. Those of you who don't, let me take you to the Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers series, okay? And we're going to go back to Game 4 because Game 4, we found out Donovan Mitchell wasn't going to play. And we wanted to see if the Boston Celtics will handle business like they need to, get another dub in Cleveland and go back home ready to close out on Game 5. As you can see here, 109, 102 in Game 4. They had a larger lead than that, but they let Cleveland come back into it, make it a game without Donovan Mitchell, which is a bit of a problem when it comes to the Boston Celtics, They one game, they'll beat you down, make you look, and they'll show you why they are considered NBA champion, worthy team. And then other games, you look at them and like, why do we play these games with y'all? Like, why? But it is Boston, so nevertheless, they did come out with the victory. They got both games in Cleveland. Jason Tatum, 33 points, 11 boards, 5 assists. Jaylen Brown put in 27 with 8 boards. Without Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland took the helm and gave you 30 points with 7 dimes. Just wasn't enough. All right. And you can see the shooting percentage. The shooting was pretty much close and all that, 48 to 43 and 37 3-point to 31 and 3 points and all that good stuff. Then we get to Game 5. This is where Boston needs to put their foot down, wipe their hand clean with the Cleveland Cavaliers and be done with it because Donovan Mitchell ain't playing in this game, which they did emphatically. 113-98. They took care of business. They handled business like they're supposed to. You know, all 5 starters of the Boston Celtics in double figures, led by Jason Tatum with 25 points. 10 boards, 9 downs. He almost had a triple-double in the closeout game, which is pretty impressive. We had an Al Horford game. 22 points, 15 boards with 5 dimes. 8 for 15 from the field, 6 for 13 from shoot. Al Horford took 13 threes. Your center is taking 13 threes, which he can make, by the way, because he hit half of them. But man, that's crazy. 13 threes, he hit 6 of them. Yeah, Drew Holiday, 13 points. Derrick White, 8 points. Jaylen Brown, he took the night off. Gave you 11, but he took the night off because he ain't need to do much. Evan Mobley laid away for the Cavs with 33 points, 7 boards, 4 assists, but without Donovan Mitchell, without Jared Allen, you pretty much knew that it was going to be wipe their hands clean, get them up out of here. As far as the Cleveland Cavaliers go. So, but nevertheless, Cleveland has done their thing and whatnot. Cooper says can't hear you. I don't know why, because the mic is on. Everything on my end is working pretty good. I can see when I'm talking, I can see the volume go up and down. So hopefully something's going on, but see if we can figure that out. I'm gonna go ahead and continue on here. As you can see, the shooting percentages 52.5% for the Celtics, and they also shot 44% on 3. Cavs weren't that far off, but short-handed. They were short-handed, okay? So that's that. All right. Now, McCain ain't here, but he's watching. So what I can see is this. Matter of fact, before I do that, let me do this real quick. Let me see what's going on here. So let me go ahead. Let's take another commercial break real quick so I can see what we got going on here. Let me do this.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
All right, welcome back. I had to take a quick break real quick. Hopefully y'all can hear me now. I had to chat some things on my end real quickly. I think we got everything good. I think everything's good to go. Now get back into the NBA playoffs. Cool McCain, if you was here, you'll be able to talk about this because this is your series, sir. Going the distance with the Game 7 in the Mile High because last night, ladies and gentlemen, one of the most destructive, the most unpredicted, most devastating beatdowns to an NBA champion I have ever seen. 115-70 by the Minnesota Timberwolves at home to stave off elimination and force the Game 7. They beat the defending champs by 45 points. My goodness. And it started in the first quarter. It's the first quarter that started. Y'all saw that 31-14, right? Well, this is how the game started. 3 minutes into the game, Denver was up 9-2. And then with just under 2 minutes left, the last bucket in the first quarter was the 31-14. The Timberwolves went on a 29-5 run at the 9-minute mark of the first quarter. Opening quarter. A 29-5 win by the Minnesota Timberwolves. Wow. Just wow. And let me go back. Let me look. They won by 45. The first quarter ended with 31-14. That's because Minnesota, after 3 minutes into the game, they went on a run. That Denver couldn't stop. It was Anthony Edwards came out and he sent the message. By the way, I got to love Anthony Edwards. That dude. I know Jason Tatum said he wanted to be the face of the league. I don't know how. I mean, Jason Tatum gonna have to win the championship. He gonna have to do the unthinkable and beat the West to be the face of the league. Because as it stands right now, if I have to pick a face of the league right now, it's Anthony Edwards. That guy he has the charisma. He plays the game the way that you want a superstar to play the game. He wants to come after your throats. That's what people love. When you talk about Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, they went for your throat. They didn't care what jersey you wore. It wasn't the same color as theirs. They didn't have the same team name as theirs. They went for your throat. This is what Anthony Edwards is doing. He's coming for your throats. That man came out there. He the one that started the whole 25-9 run. That man is different. Okay. We waiting to see Zion, but Zion can't play a whole season. We can see Anthony Edwards because Anthony Edwards don't miss games. We want to see John Morant be that type of guy. John Morant can't be on the court all the time for some reason or another. Jason Tatum, we talked about Boston. You play well in one game, and then you come in the next game and it's like, this ain't the same Boston team we're looking at. So it's like up and down with Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics. Anthony Edwards won it. This is the same dude in the regular season, in a regular season game. Mr. Freak, matter of fact, it's against Indiana. Matter of fact, it was at Indiana, by the way. Mr. Free Throw hustled down court and blocked the shot at the buzzer to make sure his team won. And he hit his head on the rim while doing it. This is the same man. When everybody was trying to write off Denver, not me. You know, all the great famous pundits on the ESPN networks, the NBA TVs, the TNTs of the world. Denver is done. Denver was getting swept. Denver bust Minnesota behind in game 3. What is that Edwards do in the locker room? That's on me. That's on me. I didn't show up. And I didn't show up. The team didn't show up. That's on me. That would not happen again. Everything Anthony Edwards is right now shows to be the face of the NBA. And nobody can say otherwise except Jason Tatum. And the only way Jason Tatum can say if he won the goddamn chip. Because people going to remember Anthony Edwards and what he did. Shoot, I wish Shea Gillis can put his name in the hat. Because I don't even know how many games he didn't drop 30 in his postseason. This is his first postseason. He's been dropping 30 almost every game. But he's going against Luka, so you don't really hear about it. Because when you play against Luka, Luka takes the spotlight from you. It's just what it is. And plus, Luka playing on a bad knee or 2 bad knees, depending on how he feeling. But man, what Minnesota did to Denver last night, just disrespectful to the champs. Rightfully so, though, because you ain't trying to go to Cancun no time soon. You want this to go to Disney. You want to go back, and that's another thing I love what Anthony Edwards said. And a reporter asked him, "Did you really tell the Denver staff that you'll see them again?" And he's like, "Yeah, I told them in Memphis I will see y'all in Denver for Game 7," and he backed it up. Look at that, 27 points, 8 for 17 from the field, 4 for 9 from 3. Carl Towns, he didn't even have no game. He doesn't want any fouls. We only had 3 fouls. They only gave you 10 points and 13 boards with 5 downs. That's it. Rudy Gobert gave you 8 points and 14 boards. You got 21 from Jaden McDaniels. Mike Conley came back from his one-game absence for an injury, 13 points. But look on the Nuggets side. I mean, Jokic showing why he the MVP. 22-9. He only had 2 assists because the rest of the team couldn't make shots. Contreras Caldwell-Pope, 2 for 6, 9 points. Aaron Gordon, 12 points. Michael Porter Jr., 8 points. Jamal Murray, 10 points from 4 for 18 shooting. That, you know what? I got to do some math. What is 4 for 8? That I know that's terrible. And we talking about Jamal Murray here. Like 4 for 18, that is 22% shooting. For a Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray should never shoot 22% in any game. I don't care if it's preseason, regular season, postseason. Jamal Murray should never be shooting less than 40% from the field. That man shot 22% from the field. And by the way, he did suffer an elbow injury. And that's what most people think has something to do with it. The elbow injury trying to run through a screen from Rudy Gobert, injured his elbow. He ain't using that as an excuse, but 22% for Jamal Murray, that's just terrible. Has Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, has any great scorer that's a guard ever shot 22% from in a game? That is 22% for Jamal Murray. That don't even sound right. So yeah. Hopefully he'll get that elbow injury ready to go for the next game, for the game 7, because if he's shooting like that, Denver might be in trouble, cool. Just gonna let you know. If your point guard is in the 20s, percentage-wise, we may not be having back-to-back champions. Because I have a feeling Anthony Edwards might come for 40 in game 7. That's a feeling. I'm not saying he is. That's a feeling. I have a feeling he's Anthony Edwards going to aim for 40 in Denver. That's just my feeling. The way that he's acting right now, he's acting like he wants to take the champs out and put everybody on, which everybody should be on notice by now because Anthony Edwards is just different. But I think he's coming for y'all throats in game 7 in your own building. Speaking of which, before I get to that, here's the shooting statistics here. 30% for the Nuggets from the field. That's terrible. 19%. 19% from 7 for 36 from 3-point range. Man, that's ugly. But, and all in all, it's one game. Like, that was a terrible one game to have. Then we get to game 7. Sunday. What a way to have Sunday. Now, the reason why is to be determined what time game 7 is going to be because of tonight's game, which I'll get into a little later. Why? Because tonight's game has a lot to do with what time the Timberwolves and Nuggets go battle in a game 7. Okay? But, man, Nuggets are a 4.5-point favorite as of right now. They're at home. It is win or go home. It is plain and simple as that. Okay? But I know what I just said about Anthony Edwards. He going for 40. But when you are the reigning defending champions, in game 7 of the conference semifinals in your backyard, I don't bet against you. So cool. I'm not going to bet against you Nuggets. They're at home. And the look on Jokic's face say, okay, I see what this is. Game 7. All right. I think Jokic might be going for 42. So we might have Anthony Edwards and Jokic go for 40. Yeah, Jokic might go for a 40-point triple-double just to send a message to everybody. Like, don't forget who we are. But, man, game 7 going to be fun to watch. Oh, game 7 going to be fun to watch. I can't wait. I'm going with the champs. They're at home. Anthony Edwards going to come out and go for their throat. But Jokic's going to go for their throat too. So I'm going to roll with the champs on this one. I'm not going to I'm not gonna jump off that bandwagon. All right. So we got one series that's complete with the Boston Celtics. We got one series going to a game 7. Now, we got two teams that have the critical 3-2 lead. Both teams that have the 3-2 lead are veteran teams, while the young team is trying to force game 7s. First off, let's start in the East with the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks. We was going into game 5 wondering what the Knicks was going to do. But damn, they losing bodies left and right. They don't have OG Anunoby for the rest of this season, most likely. They're already without Julius Randle. They're already out Bogdan Bogdanovic, and they are out Mitchell Robinson. They don't have the bodies right now. And Indiana's feeling good about themselves. Halliburton has found his rhythm in the playoffs. They feeling good. They handle business down in Indiana to make it 2-2. We in game 5. We in Madison Square Garden. What's going to happen? And the New York Knicks put a beating on them boys. They beat them by 30. 121-91. Beat them by 30. Indiana didn't know what to do. While the Knicks got 4 players playing 40 minutes, Indiana had no answers. They had no answers at all. Jalen Brunson busting their ass. 44 points with 7 dimes, 4 boards. Charles Hart gave you a double-double with 18 points and 11 boards. Steven Chancellor had a terrible game. 4 for 14 from the field with only 8 points, but he did do some dirty work with rebounding with 4 assists. Hartenstein gave you 17 boards. Where's Miles Turner at? Miles Turner, 16 points. So you handle your business on the inside. You scoring. You want to have 5 rebounds. Hartenstein out-rebounded you by 12. Good Lord have mercy. You got out-rebounded by 12. Miles Turner. We know your name. We know what you can do, Miles Turner. But Hartenstein nullified your ass on the glass. Man. Tyrese Halliburton, he went back to how he played in the beginning of the playoffs. Nowhere to be found. 13 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds. Where you at, Halliburton? You're the face of the team, Halliburton. You can't be disappearing like this. This is the postseason. This is where the stars are made. This is where stars are born. This is where legacies are submitted. You can't come in here in the East semifinals and drop 13 in a critical game 5 with a series tied 2-2. You just can't do that. You can't be taking 9 shots. You shot over 50%, but you can't be taking 9 shots. This ain't the season to be taking 9 shots. Okay, this is the season where you're the face. We're looking at you, and we want you to know. You see what Jalen Brunson did, right? Your counterpart, Jalen Brunson, put up 35 shots, hit 18 of them. He shot over 50% too, but he put up 44 points to your 13. That's a plus 31 New York. You got beat by 30. You see where I'm going with this? Tyrese Halliburton, your counterpart outscored you by 31. Your team got blown out by 30. So you can. So when you go home for game 6, which is tonight, which I'm about to preview in a bit, we need more Tyrese Halliburton. Okay, not this, not no 34 minutes playing time, 5 for 9 shooting, 1 for 4 from 3, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, and 13 points. That's not what Indiana needs. Indiana needs what Tyrese Halliburton was in game 3 and game 4 when he was in the 30s. Letting it be known, like, all right, I have arrived. I know it's the playoffs. You can't. If you're trying to go back to Madison Square Garden and do what Anthony Edwards did, you're gonna have to show up. Okay, Spicy P, that's Pascal Siakam. We know what he can do in the playoffs. We've seen it plenty of times. 22 points, 8 boards. That's what he does. Ain't got no worries with Pascal Siakam. Miles Turner, he gonna have to look in the mirror and challenge his damn so Hartenstein notified his ass on the glass. Hard. Okay. Dude, matter of fact, Josh Hart out-rebounded Miles Turner, which that tells you something. Matter of fact, Josh Hart out-rebounded Pascal Siakam too, but Pascal Siakam, he does what he does what he can. Okay. When you get 22 points and 8 boards from Pascal Siakam, I can give him a pass. Okay. But everybody else, Miles Turner, you can't be out rebounded by 12 by your counterpart. This is the one happened. Tyrese Haliburton, you can't be getting outscored by 31 by your counterpart and getting your ass whooped by 30. You just can't do it. Sorry, it just can't happen. Okay, it just can't happen. And you look at the team statistics, it don't look that bad. I mean, except for the fact that New York shot made 16 more shots than Indiana from the field, even though Indiana tied them in 3-pointers. I mean, 16 plus shots made. That's a lot. So if I'm doing math, which I'm good at, so if you cancel out the threes, you look at the fact that, okay, you say that's a 16 shot difference, made difference between those two. 16 times 2, that's 32 points. What was the final score again? I mean, good. But they're your team. Indiana is, and you're a veteran team. You've been here before. They want to make it far. They want to get to the East Finals. They haven't been to the East Finals since 2000 or 99, 2000, somewhere in that line. They want to get back there for the first time. Okay, Indiana just been here. They finally got here for the first time. Which brings me to tonight, ESPN, 8:30. New York trying to close it out. Indiana trying to go back to Madison Square Garden for a Game 7. Pacers are 5.5-point favorite. How does the body feel? Because if you be honest, thanks to a certain WNBA star who went number 1 overall of this year's past WNBA draft, the reason why they didn't play yesterday is because of her. So not only did the Pacers get an extra day, but the Knicks got an extra day. Because that Game 5 was Tuesday. Today is Friday. So Knicks got an extra day of rest. You see what I'm saying? So now they can close it out. Because if they don't close it out, Game 7 is on Sunday. Which I don't know who that bodes well for either team. Because you're just coming off 2 days of rest for Game 6 tonight. And if there's a Game 7 forced by Indiana, both teams going to have a day. They only have Saturday, and they have to go Sunday. And by the way, I already know this. If there is a game Sunday between Indiana and New York, that's at 3:30. And most likely, with that being at 3:30, that's on ABC. So I have a feeling that if it goes 7, New York, Pacers, Madison Square Garden, 3:30 Sunday afternoon, and then the Minnesota Timberwolves and Nuggets game would be that night. But if they don't, maybe Minnesota and Denver would be the 3:30 ABC game on Sunday if New York closes this game out tonight. I'm going to be honest. I think we get a Game 7. Because I think Indiana's going to look at that 30-point aspect that they took in Madison Square Garden. They're going to have a bad taste in their mouth. Even though the Knicks having an extra day of rest, the Pacers had an extra day of rest. And when the Pacers are at home, they like to run and gun. And the fact that they needed to get to 100 leaves a bad taste in their mouth too. So I expect Tyrese Haliburton to make up for Game 5 with Game 6 tonight. I expect Miles Turner to be a little more aggressive on the boards and not get outdone by Hartenstein like he did in Game 5. And Madison Square Garden will be seeing a Game 7 on Sunday afternoon. All right? I think we get 2 Game 7s. I'm looking forward to it. That's one series. That's 3-2 with a veteran team looking to close it out. There's another series left. The Dallas Mavericks and the Oklahoma City Thunder. We go back to Game 4. OKC tied it up. Game 5, Luka came back down in Oklahoma and made some things happen to take the 3-2 lead. In Game 4, I mean, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is just a beast, dude. Like, Shai Gilgeous, bro. That man dropped 34 points, 8 rebounds with 5 dimes in a road game that was needed. Because you didn't want to go down 3-1 heading back home. 34 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 dimes. Luke Dort gave you 17 and 8, which is good. Jalen Williams gave you 14 and 9, which is good. Chad Holmgren gave you 18 and 9, which is good. And speaking of giving fouls, I'm PJ Washington. This dude, game 4 was the third straight game. This man has scored 20. This man has been an unsung hero for the Dallas Mavericks. Kyrie didn't have a great game. 9 points. 9 dimes, but only 9 points. That happens from time to time, okay? Kyrie, he'll be off sometimes. This game of basketball, he'll be off sometimes. Luka, off night. 6 for 20, 2 for 9, 18 points. You know, when Luka's having that type of game, when Luka and Kyrie's only giving you, 20-something odd points together, Dallas is not winning that game. They're just not. And it's surprising they didn't get blown out because they only gave you 27 points with them two combined. It was for PJ Washington and Derrick Jones Jr. with 17. This game, OKC should have blew them out. If I'm being completely honest. This should have been a blowout game. But it wasn't. 4-point win. A win's a win. That's game 4. Here's the team statistics, and whatnot. But game 5, though. The Luka game. Luka came out, gave you 31, 10, and 11. Luka gave you a triple-double. So, all right, I had my bad game in game 4. Damn it, I ain't having another one. 31, 10, and 11. Shai Gilgeous, I told you, I need to go back and look when the last time this dude didn't drop 30 in a playoff game. This man has played a total of 9 playoff games. I need to know how many of them games he didn't score 30. That man gave you 30 points. 6 and 8. The rest of the team went in 13 from Chad Holmgren, 12 from Jalen Williams, 12 from Luke Dort. While Luka out here busting y'all ass, Luka and Shai Gilgeous canceled each other out. Kyrie Irving and Luke Dort canceled each other out. Then you got 3 players left. You got Joe, you got Williams, and you got Holmgren. They gave you what? 31 points for OKC. The other 3 players for the Dallas Mavericks, PJ Washington, Derrick Jones Jr., and Godfrey, they gave you what? 38. Dallas Mavericks won by 12. Simple math. Simple math. The other 3 for the Mavericks outdid the other 3 for the Oklahoma City Thunder. There you go. That's how that works. That's plain and simple. All right. That's plain and simple. Even though Luka gave you a 31-point triple-double. But Shai Gilgeous gave you 30. I don't know what to tell you. Here's one thing that I noticed, though. 10 from 40 for 3-point range with the Oklahoma City Thunder. You took 40 threes and made 10. You hit 1 3 for every 4 shots you put up. That is atrocious. In the words of, you want to say Bubba Dub or my good friend Coach Johnson, trash. You put up 43s, only hit 10. And you the home team. So no home cooking for Oklahoma City from the 3-point land whatsoever. You say the same thing about Dallas, but they hit 40% of their threes. That's a whole lot different than 25%. And you're the home team. No home cooking, huh? Well, damn. That's terrible. Now you got to go to Dallas and try to stave off elimination. Speaking of which, there you go. Dallas is a 4.5-point favorite to end this series. I know what I'm going to get from Shai Gilgeous on this man. I've been saying it all playoffs. This man is scoring 30 like it ain't nothing. So, Luke Dort, do you want to join the party? Chad Holmgren, do you want to join the party? Jalen Williams, do you want to join the party? One thing I did notice, I didn't bring it up. I didn't see Josh Giddey on here. Did Josh Giddey come off the bench, or did Josh Giddey get hurt or something? I just realized that when I just thought about it. I didn't see Josh Giddey's name on Because he has been playing in the playoffs, but what happened to Josh Giddey? Let me do some research here. Because where is Josh Giddey in this? All right. Need to find out what's going on with the Oklahoma City Thunder team, but they shooting guard because maybe that's who they need. Maybe they need Josh Giddey. Because everybody else ain't stepping up for whatever reason. So let me go do some research here real quickly. So I know what happened to Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey is coming off the bench. He gave you 11 points off the bench. So the coach took Josh Giddey out and inserted Isaac Joe. See, the only reason you do that for defensive purposes. And for defensive purposes, for probably to stick Luka. You might need to put Josh Giddey back into that starting lineup so that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander can have some help scoring. Because if he giving you 30, matter of fact, let me see what Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is like averaging in the playoffs. Because I don't know how many games this dude hasn't dropped 30 in these playoffs. Okay. Let's see. Postseason. In 9 postseason games, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is shooting 48.7% from the field, 37.5% from 3, with 81% from the free throw line. He is averaging 7.8 rebounds a game, 6.2 assists per game, 1.7 blocks a game, 1.4 steals a game, and he's giving you 29.6 points. 29.6 points per game. This is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who a lot of people felt should be MVP. He's showing you why. You know, he really is. Now, before I continue on, I do have the cool man here. You know, while he's moving on the road, better be being safe out there with Mr. McCain. Ladies and gentlemen, cool McCain.
What up, good people? I couldn't take no more of this blasphemy.
What?
This blasphemous talk about my Nuggets. We're not going to do that. But that's okay. We'll get back to that. I wanted to answer the question that you asked right before I was able to hop on.
Okay.
So you asked what was going on with Josh Giddey. You have to remember it's high school graduation season, and he's very distracted right now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the people that graduate, their younger sisters, little cousins and stuff, they go to the graduation. So it's getting a whole new crew of people. So he's a little distracted right now. That's why he's not hearing too much about it.
You is wrong for that. You know that. You is wrong for that. You is wrong for that.
I may be wrong.
All I'm saying is
am I lying though? That's all I'm saying. Am I lying?
You could be telling the truth. But I'm just saying, for you to bring that up, you're wrong for that. You're wrong for bringing that up. All I'm saying is, you heard me read Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's numbers. The man needs help.
Yeah, that happens from time to time. When you have, especially these young teams, man, everyone is not ready to contribute on a consistent basis. So Shai gonna get his because he's that darn good. Ain't nobody gonna really stop Shai because he pull up. The thing with Shai is he gets to the line and he pull up. He's a mid-range monster. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these cats, they can't handle mid-range. Shai is a mid-range monster. That boy would dog you in the mid-range. When you got a dude playing like that, it's difficult to stop that type of game. So there isn't a time when he can't get his. But it's what happens with these other cats. Chad Holmgren, Josh Giddey is just unfortunate the playoffs again is around high school graduation. That's the time he's very distracted. He can't completely focus on the game. But it is what it is. But you need those other guys to step up consistently and help him. And they're not able to do that. So that's kind of why if I'm a team and I was playing in the second round of the playoffs, my thing would be, Denver's number 2. I don't want to worry about Denver, so I have to. But if I can get to where I play the number 1 team, OKC, in the second round, I could probably beat them in a series because the other guys don't show up consistently.
All right.
Smart play by Dallas.
Before I continue on here, we got somebody else joining me. He's the man that gets you started when you wake up in the morning, Monday through Fridays. He is the man that gives you the news, the sports. He gives you the weather. He gives you everything that you need. He even lightens your day up to get you out the door ready for work and everything. From BS3 Networks, the morning show with Cole Johnson, the EP of all EPs, Cole Johnson.
Mr. Johnson in the building.
struck a chord, then it probably was A minor. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my bad. I didn't know I was on.
Definitely
What's up, Cole?
A
What's up, Playmaker?
minor. Anytime you're talking about Josh Diddy Diddy, A minor. That's his chords.
Y'all two is just wrong. Okay, y'all just
That's
wrong.
exactly why I thought when I said that you were gonna go there. Oh gosh.
All I'm
Oh,
saying,
and oh no wonder you're talking about the Mavs Thunder. That makes sense. Oh, go ahead, Playmaker.
all I'm saying is the switch to bring in Isaiah Joe is maybe not working. Now you in the do or die situation. Maybe you need to put Josh Giddey back in line so you can have some more firepower on the offensive side. Because Shea's giving you damn near 30 a game.
Oh Lord.
The team understands how difficult it is for Josh this time of year. They understand. That's all I'm saying.
Because the girls are attending proms and graduations. Is that
You
it?
know what I'm saying? Yes. And then you got the graduating seniors, younger sisters and cousins and stuff coming. So Giddy's just very giddy. He's almost a giddy ditty.
We ain't going to talk about that.
Get it,
Nope.
girl.
Like, I'm looking forward to Cole Johnson to talk about what just came out on Monday's show because, yeah, somebody's busted. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh my goodness.
But Cole Johnson, Dallas has the 3-2 series lead going into tomorrow's game. Can they close it out, or does the young team in the OKC Thunder says we ain't going without a fight?
I want to think that they can close it out.
It's in Dallas, by the way.
I know it's in Dallas. I wanted that they can close it out, but to me, when they had the ability to actually put the Thunder away in Game 4, they faltered. And part of me is thinking I think they're going to falter again. And look. Let's be honest here. Unlike the previous series, where I could really gave two craps about the Clippers nor the Mavericks, I give a little bit of a crap about the Thunder. So yes, I want the Thunder to advance. Not necessarily because I want to see them play the Nuggets or the Timberwolves, but just simply because I just want the Mavericks to leave. Because Dallas needs to have no good things happen to them. But okay, that's enough of that. Taking the fan hat out, putting analyst hat on. The Mavericks have the ability to take the Thunder out. I like what they did in Game 5, for the exception of Kyrie Irving, making a big presence, but didn't need to because Luka was like, okay, I got you guys. I'm going to put you on my back. And I'm going to carry you out of OKC with a W. The bench needs to step up. Like they did in Game 5, they need to do the same thing in Game 6. But in Game 4, you would think where they have the win, they're at home, they can put their foot in the throat of the Thunder. They faltered. And I just get the feeling I'm going to see that again tomorrow night. And it's unlike the Nuggets Timberwolves, I really am not wanting this series to go 7. But I think we're going to see another 7-game series in the Western Conference Semifinals.
Okay, I got you. Now, Cool McCain, you say you wanted to have a talk, right? I don't know how you're going to explain this one. I don't know how you're going to explain that. That speaks for itself.
We can explain it like this. Game 7.
It's very simple, man. I explain to you very simple. They came out, they got up 9-2. Minnesota realized they're back against the wall. This is literally win or go home. Because remember, one team had 3 wins and one team had 2 wins. And one team decided that they needed to get that 3rd win, and they got it. You know what I'm saying?
But what did you want to push back on me for saying? I didn't think I said
Oh,
anything.
I got several things I'd like to push back on you for saying, sir. Several things.
Several things.
Number one,
things.
you're going to come for an injured Jamal Murray, but then we get to Kyrie the herbal tea and his 9-point game, and you say, oh, Kyrie just have games like that. Oh, but Jamal can't have games like that? Because let's keep in mind, Why are you going in on Jamal Murray? He's a number 2. He ain't a 1. So you want a 2 to be a 1 every game, but then you let a 1 be a 2, and you okay with it. No, we're not doing that to my boys. They're not gonna speak up for themselves because they're nice. But they got jerks like me for fans that ain't gonna let y'all do this. Y'all not gonna spread this message about Denver. No, it's not happening.
So you
Number
want to talk
one.
about me going for Jamal Murray because the man
Number
shot
one.
22% from the
Okay.
field.
Okay, Kyrie had 9 points. Kyrie had 9 points, and what did you say?
Wow.
Kyrie had 9 points, and what you say? Okay, and then on top of that, you get a Tyrese Halliburton. You say, "Oh, you know, he got to shoot more," and you go about your business. But
No,
you
I
want
wouldn't.
dog. You want the dog, the number 2 in Denver, not the number 1, the number 2. So then you want to talk about the points. Okay, this is not necessarily you, but this is the media in general and a lot of people on Facebook and everywhere else. Anthony Edwards' member has a huge amount of slob. He has LeBron level slob on his member now for scoring 27 points in a game they won by 40 points. So let me do a little mathematicals for you because I know you're a math person, right? But again, this one's not directly at you. But let me do some mathematicals for all those people. You take, what was it, 42 or whatever?
45.
You subtract 45, you subtract 27. What do you get, sir?
22.
All right, so that means if Anthony Edwards didn't score a point, they still would have won by 22. But still, his member is growing and being slobbed on like he went out there and scored 50 points.
See, you was listening to the show. I said he started this.
No.
I didn't say he finished it.
This is not for you. Again, this is not for you. This is not even a stray at you. This is just my platform to make people understand. Anthony Edwards had 27 points. I'm not knocking Anthony Edwards, but we're acting like Anthony Edwards scored 50 points in that game. That did not happen. Right?
For all of you math people, 45 minus 27 would be 18. But I'm sorry, go ahead, sir.
So here's my thing when it comes to Jamal Murray. I mentioned the elbow injury.
You did. And then after that, you went back to dogging him.
I wasn't dogging. I wasn't.
You dogged him.
I'm saying
you dogged him.
I
you dogged
don't
my
remember.
Boy.
I don't remember a guard of Murray statue that shot
number 2. Don't forget number 2.
22% in a playoff game.
Number 2. Now, on top of that, unlike Tyrese Halliburton, the number 1 in Indiana, he took 14 shots. He wasn't worried about his percentage. He should have a team win. And I watched the entire game, and a lot of those guys were shooting good shots, and they just weren't going in the baskets like the basket had a top on it. It's not like he was pulling up for horrible shots. He was taking the shots that he normally makes. They just weren't going in. And it wasn't just for him. We talked about the statisticals for the entire team. I don't remember a lot of those guys being over 20 points. So let me give you a scenario that's something that should be expected in Game 7, right? Murray's probably gonna have between 15 and 20 because I don't know the status of the elbow, right? He should be able to get out there and play, but he may need to be more limited. We may need to see more Reggie Jackson, right? Because that's what you do when somebody's injured. If they can still play, you play them. But maybe you say, because maybe you got a coach that's got some sense. He says, "Oh, I know Jamal's injured," or maybe Jamal didn't say anything. So I'll give Mike Malone half a doubt for that. I'll give him half a benefit of a doubt for that. Maybe he didn't know. But I will say this. You read the stats off. I remember Michael Porter Jr., you said he had, 12 points or something? And Aaron Gordon had 18. These were guys that at least one of those guys had been stepping up and having 30-point games, right? But you know why you're not getting on them? You know why you're not saying anything about them? Because you understand their hierarchy on the team. But you forgot that Jamal Murray is also not the number 1. So I'm not saying that, he can't play better, but I'm saying all those guys have to be better. You can't have one guy score over 20 points. As dynamic as we've seen Denver be and expect to win that game. And Cole, you young Negro, please. Yeah, you acting like the dude beside it right now. But anyway, back to the lecture ahead. This ain't gonna happen in Game 7. Now, I'm not gonna come out here and say we're gonna win. I'm not gonna come out here and say we're gonna win Game 7 because this Game 7 is one game. I don't know. I believe we're gonna win. But what's gonna need to happen is We understand what they're going to try to do to Jamal Murray. We understand that they know he's injured, so they're going to be bumping their elbow because that's what I would do, right? And this is a Minnesota team that's not goody nice boys, right? Like Denver, the guys hurt. They're not going to hit Anthony Edwards in the back at all. That wouldn't be nice, you know. Bump him a little bit, make that back jar. That wouldn't be a nice thing to do. So they're not going to do that. But Jamal Murray's going to get hit in the elbow several times throughout this game because that's how you play defense. It's like when you watch professional wrestling, which we cover together. You know a guy's hurt. What do? You go after that body part. In the NFL, you know a guy ribs hurt and he's a quarterback or he's a wide receiver. What do? Every time you get tackled or running back, what do you get tackled at? Somewhere when the ribs when you get them. That's what happens. And we lost the game. Last thing was a whole bunch of people. Oh, Denver got blew out. All they did. They lost by 2 points. And it's still one loss. Minnesota don't get no bonuses, nothing because they beat Denver by 42 points. They don't get nothing, no different except for, again, a bunch of team knob swabbing for that. So all the people who want Denver to lose, mainly LeBron and Lakers fans, and other teams that Denver smashed and crashed this year, I understand. You're upset, and you're hoping that your reigning and defending champions lose. But when they don't, what you got there? Then you're going to hope Dallas or OKC going to get the job done for you? Then you hoping Boston going to get the job done for you? Because at the end of the day, the main people who out here hating on Denver is Lakers fans. And y'all couldn't get the job done. And it wasn't close. So why don't you go get you some chocolate ice cream, get you a pillow, watch you some rom-coms and cry it out, and then come back. Let's really look at this the right way. Because that's the problem.
The preceding rant was brought to you by Negro Please. Whenever your team loses by 45 points, just get Cool McCain to go ham on everybody known to man. That's Negro Please. And don't you ever come up with that again, Cool. Because
I ain't for everybody.
Because I told you.
If you open up your neck, sir.
I told you, son.
If you open up neck,
wanted 7 and I got 7. I told you, son.
Congratulations, you got your 7.
I wanted 7 and I got
7. But it should have been 6. But they didn't come out to play last night. It should have been 6. Like I said.
Now whose fault is that?
Oh, that's the team. That's absolutely the team. Ain't nobody's fault but the team.
There you go.
That's the team.
My boy. That's what I'm talking about.
Here's why.
Yeah, I'm not acting like nobody else's fault. It's the team. But I'm just saying, if we go talk about them, let's do the same thing we do for everybody else. Let's not, this guy got to do this, this guy got to do that. The only person that we need to be getting on for the Denver Nuggets play is their leader, their MVP. 3 out of 4 years MVP. He didn't show up like he should either. We ain't talking about him. We talk about Jamal Murray. Come on, man.
Well, you heard me mention.
I heard you.
Yes.
I heard you.
Because he does need to show up.
Yeah.
No question.
He's got to be 30 plus, 10 rebounds, at least 8 assists. For us to win this series.
What Cool didn't tell you is how I ended it saying, I said the way Anthony Edwards is, he might go for 40. And I said on the same note, Joker might go for 42 because the look on his face was like, okay. All right, fine.
Well, that's cool.
I will see y'all in Denver.
Well, that's cool.
But he didn't do it. He didn't do it in Game 6. Should have did it in Game 6.
But
instead of sitting over there with a towel on, looking like he was at a Diddy party, he should have been on the court still playing if he would have been playing like he should play.
And this is the time we need to listen to King Combs' weak diss right now. But as I was saying, this is the problem that you're gonna have. You're probably gonna have Ant ball out, and you're gonna have Jokic ball out. It depends on the others. Of course, the Timberwolves, Cat has to show up. Gobert has to be a beast on defense, and you got to have the others with McDaniels actually doing something. And for the Nuggets, yes, Gordon has to be a beast. You got to have Porter hitting some shots, and you definitely have to have Murray acting as though the world's against him, and he wants to shut them up. It is about that for this Game 7. because we already know Anthony Davis and Nikola Jokic. They're going to bring everything they got.
My thing is, I don't think Denver
And shout out
wins
to the rest of the
without Murray.
Timberwolves.
Yeah.
I don't
And
think
shout out to
Denver
the rest
wins
of the
without Jamal
Timberwolves.
Murray.
Well, they've won games with Jamal Murray to play in this series
Yeah,
because
Jamal.
Aaron Gordon
Yeah,
and
Jamal
Michael
Murray's
Porter
been.
Jr.
Yeah,
stepped up and had good games.
right. Yeah, yeah. The only
You don't
really
need
good
Jamal
game that
Murray to have a great game to win.
right. The only really good game that he's had was Game 4. But yeah, I just think that they need to. I just think, to me, I think the Nuggets as a team, I think they need to have Murray basically be like how he was in the fourth quarter of the games 1 and 2 in the previous series, where he started off slow and then he came on strong in the fourth quarter. think I think the Nuggets need that in this game particularly. But I do agree with you though, Cool. If Gordon steps up and Porter steps up and even KCP steps up, do you really need to have Murray step up
Maybe
too?
Peyton Watson. Maybe we get a Peyton Watson
Yeah,
site because he plays well when he plays, but for some reason Mike Malone don't want to put him in the game.
yeah.
He'd rather
Yeah.
go with Christian Braun,
I was
whose jump
that
shot
smells like
is
a matchup thing.
broken Shaq's.
Yeah, I'm thinking that smells like a matchup thing for him from his vantage point. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, I
Now,
agree with you. If all those pieces which are important as well step up, you don't necessarily need Murray to step up if Jokic is going to get his numbers along with them. I'm with you on that. I just think for a morale boost, they need to have Murray just ball out.
It would be nice, but again, we don't know what the
Extended his
extent of the
injuries.
injury and how it's going to be. So you got to plan to say, probably not going to get a lot out of Murray. I'm not saying he's not going to get anything, but you're probably not going to get a lot out of Murray because of the injury. Now, if he's 100% or if he's like 80%, I think, he still has a solid game. But it's not
Right.
dependent. You just said what I was about to say, actually. You don't need him to show up for the entire game. When you really need him is big shots in the fourth, him and Jokic.
That's
That's
what
when
you
he's
need.
really been showing up.
100.
That's really been the entirety of what Murray's been doing. He's
Mm-hmm.
getting you a couple of points throughout the game, but guys like MPJ, Aaron Gordon, KCP, Christian Brown, the few minutes that he does get in the game, and we talk about like how Minnesota's young, athletic, fast, and they dogs. Peyton Watson, but instead of countering it, we're leaving him on the bench for what matchup?
so
I mean, personally, he has a better jump shot than Christian Brown.
let
In a
me
series where you need shooting, you might want to give him some minutes to shoot the ball.
correct my Monarchs or Wrestling co-host, because even though Cole didn't know, I did go at Tyrese Halliburton because I specifically said
Yeah,
you're the face of the franchise. You can't be around
that's
here
a
scoring
soft,
13 points, and your
that's a soft
counterpart,
go
which is
in.
Jalen Brunson, outscoring you by 31. And how much did you lose by? You lost by 30.
That was a soft go in, Cole. Go back and watch it. It was a soft go in.
That was not a soft go in. I said
He
exactly what
needed
I
his
said.
tone was more aggressive right then than it was when he was talking about Halliburton.
So if you want to go that route, we talking about a young team versus a champion team. Like,
Right, but we talking about number one versus a number two. Don't
well,
forget that also.
we also talking about the guy when he was finally healthy for the Denver Nuggets, got them to the championship.
He didn't do it by himself, or he would
He
have been
didn't do
the
it by himself,
MVP.
but when he
But he not.
wasn't there, we know the results of what happened when Murray wasn't there.
Michael Porter Jr. wasn't there also. Let's not leave out that part.
Yeah,
Michael
I was
Porter
gonna
Jr.
say yeah,
wasn't there either.
yeah. You're right. Both
So
Murray
it
and
wasn't
Porter were
just
out.
Jamal
Yeah,
Murray missing. Michael Porter Jr., who you
Porter.
cannot look at this camera and tell these people, and I know you know basketball, that he did not have a big part in them getting 3 wins in a row. So it wasn't just Jamal Murray missing. Let's not forget that fact either.
Which that's what makes the season 2 years ago with Nikola Jokic even more impressive. The fact he was missing Porter and Murray for most of that year. And when I mean most
Murray
of that
missed the
year,
whole year.
probably
Porter
Murray missed the
played
whole
2
year. Porter,
games.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yep.
So from late October, he didn't play with both of them, and
I'm just saying.
he ended up willing them into the playoffs. I was like, okay, so I got to look at this guy. This dude's a beast. This dude's a
People
beast.
always
Because if
like
he
to
gets
say,
both of them, that's a championship. And the next year,
right? People always like to say Jamal Murray wasn't there, but don't forget, neither was Michael Porter Jr.
right, and that's a
See,
huge
It
piece.
wasn't a
That's a
one
huge
man that
piece.
was missing.
And
Cool
that's a
McCain's
huge
talking
piece
on
that
the
was
fact that
missing
I was
too.
focusing on the 22% shooting. Like, I've never seen that from a guard that talented.
No, I'm harping on the whole way you went at Murray. I'm like, bro,
Like,
you acting like my man won't injure and he ain't the number two. Like, what is you doing?
No,
I
but
brought up the
Like,
injury.
if you went at Jokic like that, I'd have been riding beside you. Like, yeah, because that's what he's supposed to do. And he ain't do it. But you spent more time talking about Murray than Jokic, and
That's
Jokic
true.
is the MVP. Jokic
Jokic
is
is
the man.
MVP.
Jokic is the engine that makes the car go. You spent the time talking about the transmission instead of the engine.
Nah, I see. Here's what most people, because they see Jokic and Jokic got to do everything. I don't see it that way. When 27's on that court and 27's boogie on people like he can boogie on people, that makes it even difficult for them to get beat.
well,
And
but
it's not easy to beat it when Jamal Murray is boogieing on people.
well, the Nuggets are at its best when and this is what I have noticed. They're at their best when they utilize the high screen and roll with Jokic and Murray. When they play their two-man game and Murray's in, and not only is he hitting shots, but he's also finding Jokic if he's open, and the guy and Jokic's man slides to guard him. That's when the Nuggets are at their best. When you play that two-man game, and it's like they give you a pick your poison type of thing on defense. That's when the Nuggets are at their best.
That's my point. When you don't have to pick your poison,
Right.
you already know who to stop. It's like, okay, Denver's beatable.
But here's the part that I would like for people to realize. While that is true, if Murray's not on, which he's not on every game, right? He's not on every time we win.
You
He
about
doesn't have to be on first to win. They do go to Aaron Gordon in that two man game at times
I was
because
about to say
he
I
actually
was going.
was doing that with Jokic when both of those guys were out. Because there's a time where they couldn't even get points unless Gordon was putting up 25, 30, and Jokic was putting up 35, 40 because everybody else on the team was scrubs.
You were going exactly where I was about to head. Cool.
Yeah.
One of
So
the,
while Murray's the best, Murray's the best at it. If in a perfect
but
world,
not only
Murray's giving you 20, 25, and he's in the
right.
game. He's not injured. He's playing well. But we all know that may not be what happens on Sunday. So what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to say, okay, that's why these other guys. That's why Michael Porter Jr. has the rookie max because he's supposed to be a guy that can step in and do some of that size, length. Right. This is a kid that over a 7 foot wingspan should be able to shoot over anybody.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a big guy, but he's a tall guy.
He's a
He's
tall
a
guy,
rangy
lanky
guy.
He's a
Right. He
lanky
can get to the hole, but he got to be dialed in. Now, granted, he got like every brother in his family's in trouble or in jail now, so that could be a part of the problem that he's having, right? A part of it could be his mental's a little off.
That
You got Aaron Gordon,
he
you
ain't
got Reggie
riding that
Jackson.
emotion no more. Is
Yeah,
what
you got Reggie Jackson, who could come in and give you some of the same stuff, not at the same level of Jamal Murray, but he can give you some of those same things. He can play off that two man game as well.
And I'm glad you mentioned. I'm glad you mentioned the two-man game with others. And the reason being, Game 5. So it looked like it was nip and tuck. And what I noticed was that starting the third quarter, Jokic was getting his points, but no one else was really getting theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Jokic in the third quarter established, okay, I'm going to find others because I want to get others
Mm-hmm.
involved. And who was the main one he got involved? Aaron Gordon.
You talking about the game where Aaron Gordon only missed one shot the whole game?
Yeah. So in the third quarter, I witnessed on 3 separate possessions. On 3 consecutive possessions. Jokic getting the ball. The first one was a dime. The first one was a dime to Donald, to Gordon. I mean,
Right.
next possession, it was a kick out the 3 for Porter. The
Mm-hmm.
next possession, it was a baseball pass that he threw to Murray. The
Mm-hmm.
next possession, after a timeout, Jokic threw this pretty no-look pass. It would be on every single highlight if it weren't for the fact that Gobert fouled Gordon.
Yep.
What I'm loving about Jokic is that it's not necessarily he's looking for Murray. I did say at its best it's those two,
Oh, absolutely.
But with Jokic, it is if I could find some jam with anybody, I'm still gonna make this defense pay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
I
why I
agree.
noticed in 4 consecutive possessions when Jokic got the ball in the third quarter. And what happened? It was a 2-point lead that they had, and it was a 2-point deficit I think that they had. And it was a Gobert block shot. Gordon got the ball and he made a bucket to tie the game. And those possessions went from a 2-point deficit to a 10-point lead.
So, all right,
Getting the
real
team
quickly.
involved.
All right, real
Mm-hmm.
quickly. Cole, I said, so I did 2 things when it comes to the Indiana Pacers in Game 5. One, Tyrese Halliburton can't be getting outscored by Jalen Brunson by 31 points.
Oh,
That just can't happen. That just can't happen.
That's a non-starter. That's a non-starter.
So you can't
Yeah.
be doing it. You're the face of the franchise, and your counterpart is outscoring you by 31. You get blown out by 30. Number
And
two
not in
is
the game you need to. No.
Yeah.
and number
Gotta
two
show up.
is Miles Turner. You can't be
Gotta
getting
show up.
dominated on the glass by Hartenstein.
Hey.
He out rebound you by 12. That just can't happen.
That brother Hardenstein, he ain't playing no games this year.
He not, but
You know what I'm
Miles
saying?
Turner cannot be getting out rebounded by 12 by a single guy. That's playing
Hey,
the
that was
same
black on
position as
black
him.
crime. What can you do? It's black on black crime. What can you do?
So those are my 2 things when it comes to Indiana. Now, what made it bad for Indiana is because of a certain number 1 draft pick in the W. Instead of the game being played Thursday, was supposed to be scheduled, got moved tonight, which gave the Knicks, who are losing bodies left and right, an extra day of rest.
That helped them out.
So
That did help them.
So real quick, do the Knicks close it out, or do we have a Game 7 in Madison Square Garden?
I think we're gonna get a Game 7 because I don't think the gap between the Pacers and the Knicks is enough. Where even though they're getting some people back, I think the Pacers are gonna come out kind of like Minnesota did, right? Like we got to win this. It's win this or go to F home, and we ain't trying to go home. You know, you at least want to make it to Game 7, right? You at least want to be a team that we win 7 games. Maybe we lost in 7, but we win 7. I think for me, I would feel better about that than losing in 5 or 6. Because at least I took the other team to the limit. I had them where we make a couple more plays in one of these games and we advance. So I think Indiana gonna come out tonight. You're gonna see everybody get theirs. You're gonna see Halliburton come out, like you said earlier. He gonna come out. He gonna do what he's supposed to do. He gonna play ball. He gonna give you 25 or so. Because the one thing about Indianapolis is, and I will say this in Halliburton's defense. The one thing I will say Halliburton's defense. The way that they have the game plan drawn up is they want to spread the ball around. Right? They want to pass, get the open guy, spread the ball around, spread the points around to make it more difficult to take one guy away. That works to your disadvantage when you have one guy who's really your main guy. Like if you take this to OKC, right? You're gonna have the same thing happen. They're gonna get blown out. This is not, to me, the best philosophy when you have a guy like Halliburton. You turn him loose, you let him do his thing, and then you let him kind of do what you like Jokic. Let him get the ball at times and let him facilitate, let the offense run through him, and let's not try to have this whoever's open, whoever's gets the best matchup type crap that the Indiana be doing sometimes dictated. So I think that's the one negative advantage of this philosophy that they have in Indianapolis. But tonight, I bet you won't see that miss. I bet tonight you're gonna see Tyrese Halliburton get that ball, and these other dudes get the ball and make some plays happen.
All right. Real quickly, Coach Johnson, Game 7 in Madison Square Garden. Yes or no?
Prepare for Game 7 Madison Square Garden on Sunday because go back to one series before where the Pacers had an embarrassing performance when they should have closed out the Bucks in Milwaukee, but without Giannis and without Dame, they allowed 115 points to be scored by the others. They came back in Indy and they were like, okay, let's shut this down, to the point where you had Patrick Beverley get all in his feels and act an absolute buffoon on the sideline.
By the way, he's suspended for the first 4 games of the next season whenever he signs with any team.
He said buffoon. Is anybody gonna even sign it in the words of Cole Johnson, buffoon?
I'm sorry. That is how Patrick Beverly acted.
It was.
So you saying by Indiana getting blown out in Game 5?
They'll be inspired to actually blow out the Knicks in Game 6 because they'll play. And Cool said it best. They will play desperate. And since this team is rather young teams normally have an itch to play desperate. And when you play desperate, they normally do things beyond what they normally do. And they sort of did that last series when they closed out the Bucks. But they didn't have to play as desperate as they do tonight. But they'll play desperate tonight. And I think the Knicks are still licking too many wounds because you would need to have Jalen Brunson score 60 for them to win tonight.
All right. So we're going to take a break because this was a long segment that I didn't thought it was going to happen. But that's what Cool McCain does to me.
Oh, Lord.
Coming here hating on my boys.
Hey.
Trying to get
We're going to take a break because it was opening week in the W, and you know I got to talk to W. We'll be back.
I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kurt the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts.
WWE Shop is your online source for all things WWE. Be a part of the excitement and score wrestling gear for big events like WrestleMania or SummerSlam. From current superstars to legends, from Raw to SmackDown to NXT. Don't miss this chance to shop for the most awesome WWE merch. Shop for the best deals as well as WWE gift cards and save big on your favorite items. WWE Shop at Fanatics Experience.
Cool McCain.
You thought you wanted Gunther against Chad Gable, but you didn't. And I'm going to tell you why. Chad Gable would take everything that Gunther's done and bury it.
The Playmaker.
It was on site. AJ Styles walked out there, seen LA like, oh, okay, then we LA Knight hopped out the car, let's go.
Break down everything in TNA, AEW, and all of the WWE programming. Join these two kings, monarchs of wrestling, live every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central on the Play Caller Sports Talk YouTube channel. Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crown they get, they palm it and do two circles, and that translates to, I can be the black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Shooting Lights Out. Shout out to my man Cole Johnson for all the commercials he's done for a ton of people. Okay,
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
A ton of people.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
And quick note. So if y'all caught Monsters of Wrestling this week, it was a different show. It was a different show.
How was this one day is a different show, Playmaker?
I wasn't too pleased in wrestling last week. I can say this. We're back to normal. I thought it was gonna be a good week, and then Wednesday happened. That's all I'm gonna say. So yeah.
And when Friday has not happened yet, so
And
I just want to say, to me, Wednesday was an upgrade in one aspect, and we'll talk about that on Monday.
One.
But you have to agree, it was an upgrade in that one aspect.
Oh,
I don't know if that was. I don't know if I want to call that an upgrade.
Since we're talking about this, okay, well, I'm sorry. Yeah,
But
they
that's
her.
Monday.
Yeah, yeah. You're right. They featured her. There you go. Yeah.
That's not what we're talking about. But that's Monday.
Oh, I gotta say two now. Good point, Cole. Good point.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
But
I appreciate you.
And unfortunately for our wrestling fans, those of you who are here in the city that I live in, y'all enjoy SmackDown tonight. SmackDown should be interesting. And depending on what happens on SmackDown tonight, it's going to lead to a very interesting conversation between me and Crew McCain, featuring one superstar who I had picked to win Queen of the Wing after what happened or what she did on social media.
There's definitely some breaking news that we need to discuss on Monday.
Yeah, so that will be interesting.
Yeah. But speaking of ladies, the WNBA is here, ladies and gentlemen. The most anticipated season in the W. And by the way, Cole Johnson, you did a good job covering the WNBA this week.
Thank you, sir.
It was the opening
Lots of good conversations
of the W. And then within 2 years, by 2026, we'll have two more teams on here. One team will be added next year, and the Golden State Vicarious. Perfect name. Perfect name.
It's supposed to be two next year, and then two in when Toronto's added.
That's what I'm
thinking. Yeah, it's supposed to be 2 and 2.
Two the following year. That's what I thought. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They only added two teams.
No, they said they were adding 2 in 2024, and then 2 in 20. Two in 2025 and 2 in 2026.
They never picked the other city to go with Golden State. And then they picked Toronto.
Yeah, but they haven't. Yeah, but I'm saying they still can.
They still can, but they making that.
Yeah, because there's still cities in the running. From reports, Charlotte's even in the running to get the Sting back.
And I hope you get the Sting back.
I would switch it. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I don't do this much, but if we get the Sting back, I'm bailing on a dream.
Although it would suck, I totally get that.
Yeah, hey, I need at least one team that I can go down the street and cover.
Yeah, I was about to say. Hey, you can go a lot shorter distance to cover any WNBA team. Yeah.
Cole Johnson wants the only team that won back-to-back championships in the WNBA.
Yes.
They could just make me and Cole happy and be done with this.
Yes.
Man, since we want to bring teams back, we'll just go ahead and bring back the Detroit Shocker. They probably give Detroit something to look forward to in basketball.
Look, I'll be good.
I think Detroit's such a bad. I think Detroit's such a bad basketball team right now. Let's just let that bad juju float over before the shot come back.
Oh, not the bad juju.
Anyway,
gotta admit, it's some bad juju in Detroit. I'm just saying it is.
Opening week in the W, and a lot of eyes was on a certain city and team, which we would get to a little later because I made sure I created some separate slides for that conversation. Opening night, you had 4 games opening night. And we begin opening night with my New York Liberty. Me and Wise of New York Liberty had to take the trip to DC yet again to open the season against the Washington Mystics.
And there you
unlike last year,
for a team nowhere near where you live. I'm sorry, Playmaker. Go ahead.
I ain't gonna say nothing about that.
Didn't we have this conversation before, Mr. Cole Johnson?
Hey, look, Playback, I got your back on that one.
No,
Oh, I
me
know
and Cole
you.
Johnson.
We're not gonna,
Me and
I
Cole
know.
Johnson had
we're
this
not gonna let Cole do
conversation
stuff like
before.
that, Playback.
I
We're not gonna let him do that.
I know you have his back cool. And we just got finished with you trying to dress everybody down about hating on your Nuggets. So and you or in Charlotte. So yes, I understand you feel what Playmaker's doing.
No. Me and Cole Johnson, we had this conversation. So Cole Johnson knows why I'm a Liberty fan. And that's why he ain't saying it, because when we had that conversation, he couldn't but respect it. Because I know the history of the Liberty. I just didn't jump on the Liberty out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody jumps on their teams out of nowhere, sir. Unless they're in your city, because then you just say, "Oh, that team's down the street. I'll just cheer for them." It doesn't matter if they suck, if I know anything about them or not.
So going back to the Rebecca Lobo days, and a couple of seasons when we had Becky Hammond on the team.
It's a good little team, no doubt about it. It's a good little team.
Mm-hmm.
So my New York Liberty took the trip to DC, and unlike last year, we got the W this time. It was not the stars of the Liberty that did it. It was the supporting cast. John Crowell Jones, 25-8. But Naja Laney Hamilton, 20 points. And congratulations on your being married. You did that during the offseason. Congratulations to you, Elijah. Sabria Nescu only 15 points. Stewie, 8-8. Not a typical Stewie game. But we got the dub. Started off season 1-0. Better than last year when Bills 0-1 because we lost to the Misses. And plus, the Misses had a star of their own who was stepping away from basketball. And that would be Elena Deladon. New York 1-0. Number 2 team in all of the WNBA. And then
John Crowell Jones ain't no joke.
And then from there, we head to the number 3 team in all of the WNBA, the Kinetic Sun, which those of you who were watching me last week when I previewed the WNBA, what did I tell y'all? Don't overlook the Suns. Clayton Clark WNBA debut along with
confused with the Suns. With Phoenix, it's the Sun. I'm sorry, my bad. Go ahead.
There's no S on the Sun with Connecticut. There is no S at the end. And the Kinetic Sun do what they do best. Play defense.
Defensively shut you down.
They scored a couple of points there too.
Oh yeah.
Alicia Thomas, who's going to be one of the greats of the game and might make a run for MVP this year, gave you a triple-double. The one Obama who also can be considered an MVP front runner, 20.
The one Obama.
Clayton Clark gave you 20 points, 5 of 15 from the field, 4-11 from 3. Aaliyah Boston, rough game, only 4 points. Only 4 points.
We talk about them. We got to talk about the turnovers too, though.
But we'll get to that because, I said, I made specific slides for that conversation because I know we're gonna have that conversation.
I just want to make sure everybody get the full picture of Clark, since everybody's is. I can't say that everybody's really jock riding Caitlin Clark. Let me say that.
So we will get there, but I want y'all to know. I told y'all this last time. Connecticut is the 3rd best team in the WNBA. And the disrespect that y'all showed them because of one person on the other team, y'all wasn't using y'all brand. But I'll talk about that more later. Okay. Here's the team statistics as you see. Pretty similar, but the better team won. Game 3, the back-to-back reigning champions
and
got
defending
their rings.
Yeah, and defending.
The rings look good too. Real talk. The rings is nice.
Come walking in is the Phoenix Mercury without Brittany Griner, who's going to be out for some time.
Bowl cut, get another style for your hair.
In the words of James Storm, Phoenix Mercury, sorry about your darn look.
Surprisingly, they gave the Aces all they can handle without Brittany Griner. Well,
They did.
because they got who's most people goats still playing for another year. Diana Taurasi with 23 points. Natasha Cloud, formerly
Don't
of the
forget Kalia freaking
Washington.
Copper too.
I ain't get there yet, sir.
You start there.
Natasha Cloud coming from the Mystics, 14, 8, and 7. Kalia Copper traded by the Chicago Sky to the
Foolishness.
Mercury, 19 points. But who is the Finals MVP, gentlemen? Asia Wilson.
Asia Wilson.
30 points, 13 boards. I mean, Jackie Young without Chelsea Gray on the court, filled in Natalie.
Jackie.
23, 7, and 6. Kelsey Plum on to get you 19.
KP.
Only 19.
Good enough.
That's good enough. But don't expect that all season from Miss Palm because she's gonna light you up.
Yeah.
Don't get it
Her and
twisted.
Asia can kind of trade off a little bit. They don't need to both have 30-point games.
I'm just
You got the night, girl.
I'm just letting people know because apparently we got a lot of first time watchers of the WNBA.
A whole lot of first time watchers that obviously have nothing but ignorance about the whole entire past of the WNBA. Ridiculous.
Well, let's put it
Carry
like
on.
this. Well, let's put it like this. The best player in the WNBA today is Asia Wilson,
who dropped 30.
Acknowledge her.
The one that you see that says 30 and 13, that would be her.
That would be her. Yeah,
And her right hand woman is Kelsey Plum. Main event Kelsey.
And she is no slouch either. So yeah.
Yep, main event Kelsey Plum.
She will boogie on YouTube. This is why the Las Vegas Aces are the #1 team in the W.
And have been the last 2 years. Yep.
Your team statistic here, as you can see here, 40%, almost 41 for the Aces, 38. Aces didn't shot well from 3, but they didn't need to. When you have Asia Wilson dominate the inside,
pretty much
that's what you get. Plus, yet again, remember, they ain't have Brittany Griner, so.
And where is Asia Wilson from?
Columbia.
So
what school does she go to?
I believe it's a school called South Carolina.
Gamecocks, I believe. At least she's a Lady Gamecocks.
Head coached by Don Staley.
Yeah, I believe it's that one.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. Please.
So there you go. That's 3 games. The fourth and final game of opening night was 2 teams that looked different. Wanted to see how they look. We had the Minnesota Lynx versus the Seattle Storm. I'm impressed with
I was a little surprised by this. I was surprised by this one.
I picked the Storm. Minnesota.
I did too.
Minnesota had.
They got the. You know what I'm saying?
They had different plans. You know.
They got the goal. I mean, come on. It made sense.
Alana Smith game high 22 points. Nafisa Collier 20 points with 12 boards. I mean, hey, they came out swinging.
Yeah.
I was looking at the Storm and looked at their roster. I said, "Oh, they got Nikki Maguma."
That's what I'm saying. Then you already had the gold Mamba. I mean, come on.
Smith is back in the W. She's with the Seattle Storm, and then the gold Mamba. Those of you who don't know who the gold Mamba is, that would be Joy Lloyd, who did not.
Yes.
He did not have a great game to start off.
Nah. It happens though. Ain't nobody perfect. It happens.
3 for 19 from the field, 10 points. She did get 10 rebounds. How y'all let a guard get 10 rebounds? That's what I want to know. Especially a guard who's known to score, get 10 rebounds.
I guess you said the scoring went on, so let me try to help out in other ways.
So Minnesota, they got the 1-0 dub and dropped Seattle to 0-1. There's a battle with who's the 14. You can say you can look at Seattle, you can look at Washington, you can look at Dallas.
Seattle right now.
I mean, the 4th spot is up for grabs, basically. But the top 3 teams: Las Vegas, New York, and Connecticut. Your team statistics right here. That was the opening night. The following night, we had some more rookies to debut. The Chicago signed the Dallas Wing, where we get to see Angel Reese take the court.
But no Camila Cardozo.
No Camila Cardozo. She's going to be out for almost 2 months with the shoulder.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
But when she get back and they got them Twin Towers,
the Shy Towers. I call them the Shy Towers.
Well, it makes sense since you already got the Chi-Town Barbie.
But Angel Reese, I give her an okay game. You gave me 12 points, 8 boards in your first game. Don't like the 5 for 14. Don't like that. But it's your first WNBA game. But you was in it. You was getting down dirty inside. You wanted to show that you ain't scared. But when you got Eureka Gumarali on the other side, that's a whole different story. And Gumarali gave you 25 with 7 dimes. She's a winner. She's trying to do some things that Dallas hasn't done. So she came out game 1 and was on point. So we shall see. But I'm gonna give Sky some time. You got Diamond DeShields in there as well. You got pieces. You missing Camila Cardozo. You got pieces. So I believe in Coach Witherspoon would get it together.
They're missing the piece they should have too, but I digress.
But remember I said that 4th spot is up for grab. Dallas is one of them teams that's trying to grab that 4th spot.
There's some other teams trying to grab it too.
And then we get to the closing game. Here's the team statistics. Here, and then we had the Atlanta Dream, who the team that's currently followed by McCain. They were in the City of Angels to take on the Los Angeles Sparks. And the Los Angeles Sparks, it might take them a while to get together too, because they got 2 rookies that I'm looking forward to, and Cameron breaking with Keita Jackson.
They are good rookies.
But hey, Howard with Tina Charles, oh my gosh.
That's not fair. That's really not fair. Like, I'm looking at the lineup and I'm like, we about to be some trouble this year. Trouble.
Oh, Johnson, you know about Tina Charles. You pair her up with Howard now?
Wait, say it again.
And Cheyenne Parker.
Parker.
Who also got married.
Yep. Congratulations on her marriage, but you know about Tina Charles.
And Alicia Gray on that beast too.
That's not.
And then Haley Jones that took over at point guard.
I mean, Atlanta got a nice starting 5. I'm just saying.
And they got some length out that piece too.
Atlanta got a nice starting 5. I ain't gonna hold you. So yeah, Cameron Brick and Rakita Jackson, who's coming off the bench right now because you still got Lacey Brown.
That's why I was saying there's other teams vying for their 4th spot too.
The Lacey Brown, but Lacey Brown struggled against the Dream. Lacey Brown, that girl. Cameron Brick, 11 points, 4 for 6. Wasn't really too much involved in the offense.
That's okay. They're young. It's gonna take time. We expect everybody to come out and start winning from the jump.
No,
you know what I'm saying. We expecting that.
But the Dream got the first dub of the season out the gate, and so that was Wednesday. We had one game on Amazon Prime that featured the Indiana Fever against the New York Liberty.
And hold on. And this was also regular season game 7. Go ahead, sir.
And as expected, New York Liberty walked into Indiana. Said, we got this. Y'all gotta learn first. Okay, you might get the hype, you might get the crap, but you gotta learn first.
You gotta crawl before you walk.
And remember I told you don't worry about that first game that Stewie didn't show up because she let it be known in game 2.
So you talking about this new one that's coming in? Let me show you.
Don't forget about me.
I got
the reigning league MVP, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. If I get the mission after game 1,
I'm telling y'all, it's not a game, man. It's not a game.
31 points, 10 boards.
They are some ballers in this league.
And by the way,
it's not a game, bro.
And it make it so bad. Brianna Stewart just did her thing. John Quell and BLH they did their thing game 1. Sabrina hasn't done her thing yet. We only 2 games in. Sabrina ain't even caught fire yet.
Yep.
So this letting now there's a lot of people all of a sudden they up in arms now. They up in arms.
Well,
What's going on here? Caitlin Clark is not being Caitlin
Barnes.
Clark, and the coach need to be. They trying to fire a second-year coach after 2 games. This is crazy. This is a second-year coach. This is the second game of the season, and y'all already trying to fire her because Caitlin Clark can't do what Caitlin Clark does. You know why? Because everybody. You know what? Let me get to this. Let me get to my slide right now. The early struggles for Caitlin Clark. Right. This is what we have. This is game 1 against the Kinetic Sun. 20 points, 5 of 15, 4 for 11, 3 assists, 4 fouls in 32 minutes, and she had 10 turnovers, which set the WNBA record.
See, she's a record breaker already.
I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. Before we even go any further, I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. Caitlin Clark is not a WNBA point guard.
Oh heck no! I knew that when I saw her game in Iowa.
I knew that. Yeah. I was gonna do something. I ain't gonna do that. You're right, sir.
And then last night against the New York Liberty, 9 points, 2 for 8, 1 from 7 from 3, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 5 fouls in 30 minutes. And I can tell you this, at least 3 of those fouls were stupid fouls by her. I can tell you from watching.
Oh, and also, I know we all gonna talk about it, but I just want to say what these clowns have done in the media as well as fans, right? Is you have basically posted the world's biggest bullseye on Caitlin Clark.
Go ahead.
Right? Every rookie, every WNBA vet wants a pound of Caitlin Clark's flesh. Every night, Caitlin Clark is gonna get that work. The best defender's gonna be on her, and they gonna dog her on the offensive end, and they gonna dog on the defensive end. You know why? Because they made everything. Caitlin Clark is a savior of the WNBA. All them grown women that's been playing 5, 7, 3, 10 years in the WNBA. You don't think they got a problem with that? So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I'm gonna start calling them the Clark sexuals, and your queen is gonna struggle early on. It's gonna happen. So Clark sexuals, you in for a long, long season.
Coach Johnson, you know, I wanted to do you a favor, right? Because I knew you was coming on the show, right? You see what I put as the title of this slide?
Yes. Early.
This is exactly what she's finna go through.
Who thought she wasn't?
A lot of people.
The Clark sexuals.
Matter of fact, I caught a clip of a former NBA player by the name of Jeff Teague. Think you two gentlemen heard of him.
Yes.
I remember him.
He said the WNBA has dropped the ball with Caitlin Clark after 2 games.
How?
How they drop the ball?
He said they supposed to let her cook.
They supposed to just let her cook?
So,
Jeff T, did anybody ever let you cook, clown?
So basically what Teague is saying is it should be Caitlin Clark has the ball and the other 9 players on the court should just scatter.
They said they should let Caitlin Clark get to the 20, 25 games, be the Steph Curry that she's supposed to be, so that the everything in the W can go higher.
Well, I do this show called The Morning Shift, as you can see behind me. I have a segment where I would probably say with Caitlin Clark and with the WNBA, it is an iron sharpening iron situation. The only way she's going to get better is if she gets to see these other ballers who know the grind, who have put in the time, and who have gotten rings, and then she elevates her game to their level. I mean, this is only her 2nd ever professional basketball game. So we think that she's going to do the same thing she did only 1 month removed when we saw her in Iowa going for the national championship? No.
And you know, here's the funny thing. You know how these people was just hyping Caitlin Clark, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hyping Caitlin Clark. Cool, you seen my comments in these comment sessions.
You seen mine too, sir.
What did I just call the Kinetic Sun?
The 3rd best team in the W.
What is the New York Liberty?
2nd best team in the W.
And if you're a casual fan, I'm not taking this at you. I'm taking this to the people who know the game of the basketball, who have
And wait
covered
till
the
they play
WNBA.
the Aces.
Hold on,
Wait till they play the Aces.
This
Oh my
is for
God.
y'all because y'all sat here and said, I'm taking Caitlin Clark over the Kinetic Sun. What is wrong with y'all?
Cocaine is a heck of a drug. That's what's wrong with them.
The casual fans, I'll let you pass because you don't know. But
They number Clark sexuals anyway, so they don't know no better.
it's the people who know the game who've been speaking about the WNBA and wanting them to succeed so much. Y'all are rookies finna walk into Connecticut and take down the Connecticut Sun when they got their big three back.
That's a lot of teams that they're not about to walk in there and walk over. They're gonna win some games. Caitlin Clark is gonna look good in certain games, but Steph Curry, and I want to back up to what you said about Steph Curry just for a quick second. Steph Curry didn't walk into the NBA and start shooting 30-footers. That's not how it went.
No.
Steph Curry had to struggle. Steph Curry had to get better. He had to go out there and do what Christian Brown needs to do, is shoot 2,000-3,000 jump shots a day in the off season, off days. You got to go work at your craft. And Caitlin's just getting there, so she hasn't had time to work at her craft on the WNBA level, the professional basketball level. She's gonna be fine, but it ain't gonna be this season. She'll have some glimpses this year. Give her a year or two, then we're gonna start seeing her get more comfortable. Maybe we see her body change a little bit more muscle. We see her look more like a WNBA player. That's when you're gonna start to see the Caitlin Clark that you're expecting. It's just her Clark sexuals are expecting it too soon.
And one thing, everybody's point fingers at everybody. What you need to point the fingers at is how the WNBA made their schedule. Because we just said her opening game was against the third best team in the league, right?
Mm-hmm.
Her home opener was against the second best team in the league, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cole Johnson, look at their schedule. Look at that schedule.
But I'm
that
saying
is the next 5 games for Caitlin Clark.
But Playmaker, can I ask you a serious question?
Go ahead.
What are going to be the easy teams for her?
A 3-game road trip. 4 out of the next 5.
Like, what are going to be the teams that she's going to go out and really be able to just get off on right now?
Her first game where she's going to be able to do what she can do is the Storm, because they just brought in basically a whole new team. Even though they veterans, it's a whole new team. It's going to take the Storm some time to figure each other out.
The Sparks too. The Sparks is a good chance too.
But you face your first 4 games is against the third best team and the second best team. Your first 4 games. And y'all act like Caitlin Clark is going to come here and take over.
That's what they acted like.
Like, Pat McAfee is learning. He's actually learning right now. Because Pat McAfee is one that was on the Caitlin Clark train coming into WNBA. He's actually learning right now because Pat do know his basketball. I ain't going to shortchange Pat. He do know his basketball. And he
don't know his WNBA, though.
I'll say he knows. That's why I say he knows his basketball, because now he realized, like, wait a minute. Yeah, that Connecticut Suns team is like a beast. I didn't know that. He was at the home opener last night, and he realized, that New York team, that's different. That's different.
Bona fide, verified, certified team.
And guess what? The next 2 games is against those same 2 teams.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna see what the coaches learn from game 1 between both teams. What did Caitlin Clark learn from game 1s of both teams, and can she adjust? Because now you're going to New York. See, the last time you was in New York, it was in your favor. Because people was behind you when you went against LSU, and you going to the Barclays Center. It's straight liberty there.
What do you mean, sir? Caitlin Clark, Clark sexuals are everywhere.
Oh Lord.
Trust me. Trust me. I know the Barclays Center. It's gonna be Liberty down.
No, it's gonna be Liberty down.
And that's the home opener for the Liberty too.
The Clark sexuals everywhere. Lord have mercy.
So I'm just letting you know, her first 4 games is against the 2 of the 3 best teams in the league. Then we might can see what Kenny Clark can be in the future when she go against the Storm and the Sparks in the West Coast trip before she meet the champs. And trust me, do not let Chelsea Gray be back before that game. Because Chelsea Gray wants some Caitlin Clark.
She wants some bad. Ooh.
And she going. You see what Carrington did to her in game 1.
They going down. They gonna try to lose.
You see what Belashney did to her last night? Lock her
They
down.
gonna try to stop her from scoring any points.
And guess what? Candy Clark gotta go right back through Belashney again on tomorrow, and then Monday got to deal with Carrington again. And by the way, Carrington's great. Oh my God, she's a hell of a defender. Okay, and then we'll see. I want to see Caitlin Clark versus Skylar Diggins-Smith. I'm looking forward to that matchup. I'm looking forward to that one. Oh Lord, because I know that's gonna be Caitlin Clark's real first game where she can get off because she's taller than Skylar, so she can shoot over her. But Skylar's a dog.
That height advantage is gonna be like Michael Porter Jr.'s height advantage last night. Non-existent.
And then the Sparks, Lacey Brown, that's gonna be interesting. Lacey Brown more of a scorer, not a defender. So can the cover have a chance to do something?
I bet Brown getting her bag though. I'm telling you, man, everybody's coming for Caitlin Clark.
Oh, and by the way, just in case y'all what you call them cool McCain?
Clark sexuals.
You Clark sexuals. Just in case Chelsea Gray doesn't play, don't worry. Jackie Young would be on that ass.
And all I can say to that is Jackie.
Y'all must not remember Jackie Young from Notre Dame.
Well, they forget because Chelsea Gray there. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. They forget because Chelsea Gray there.
Go, Cole Johnson, go ahead.
Lord have mercy. Well, all right. 4 out of the next 5 on the road, so I get by competition, you would say that she could probably get off against the Storm and maybe the Sparks. I'm tend to think that considering that I don't know if she's had this type of road trip when she was in Iowa, I'd say none of the above.
I like Cole's answer.
And the reason why I say that is, this is a grind. And she has to learn how to do the grind well. And then let's face it, and Cool said it, and so did you, Playmaker. These teams are looking at Caitlin Clark like she is the defending champion. They're gonna play the Fever like they play the Aces, because they know all eyes are on them whenever the Fever roll into town or whenever they go into Indianapolis, and they want to prove a point that this young woman is not ready. That this young woman is not going to be the bee's. She may be the bee's knees, but she's not the bee's knees now. And I'm going to show you why she's not the bee's knees, and I'm going to show you all why we are. So you're going to be seeing these teams give the Fever their best shot, as if the Fever won the WNBA championship.
And we'll be talking about a 13-win team last year, by the way.
Yeah,
and
you're going to see struggle, and I think she's going to struggle all 5 games.
And if I could add just a little sprig in there, they looking at her like for all the country people that's watching, they looking at her like a pot of collard greens and neck bones.
Yeah. Since we're in a world of comparisons and whatnot, Cole Johnson, how long did it take Michael Jordan to finally take over the NBA? Because he ain't doing his first year.
It took him really. He really wasn't considered the guy until his 7th year in the NBA.
7 years. 7 years. Cool McCain. Now, I'm
Sir,
taking feelings out the way and all that stuff. How long did it take LeBron James to finally take over the NBA?
Probably about 4 or 5 years to really take over. About 4 or 5 years.
When he went to Miami.
I would say the year before he went to Miami was when he really started taking over. Because he was really good the year before he went to Miami. Now the team wasn't, but he was. Like he was really good. Like you can see he was probably the best player in the league at that point. So that's why I say about 4 to 5 years for him to really take over. I give LeBron his props.
How long did it take Steph Curry to take over the league?
Let's see, 2009.
Who is
about 7 years?
Who they're comparing her to being in the WNBA, which is Steph Curry. You said 7 years, Coach Johnson.
Yeah, 7 years. Sabrina Ionescu
still hadn't taken over.
And she still hasn't taken over, right?
Yeah, she still hasn't taken over yet. I mean, 2 games in and y'all already up in arms. 2 games.
And that's what I find. And that's what I find hilarious about this. 2 games, and we already are seeing. Well, I thought Caitlin Clark was the bee's knees. I thought she was the best thing since sliced bread. I thought she was better than Diana Taurasi. I'm like, you only have seen her play 2 professional games.
Clark sexuals.
You expect her in 2 professional games to be Asia Wilson? Really? Get out of here. There's levels to this, and even in the WNBA, you will see, and Caitlin Clark will learn that there's levels to this, even when it comes to her.
Asia just took over a couple of years ago. She didn't come in and be that chick. It took her some time too.
Right.
I would say this. The only thing I don't like about Caitlin Clark right now is her body language. You should know.
Because she ain't used to this.
Yeah, you should know this going in. Like this is a different level.
Hey, she might have bought her own height, Playmaker though. She might have bought it to her own height.
That's what I was about to say. Cool.
Enough people stroke your ego, your ego starts to stand up a little bit.
I'm like,
if you feel what I'm saying.
You got to understand, she has the biggest shoe deal in WNBA history.
Before she played the game.
Before she even stepped on an WNBA court. So, you know, how can that? And she's only in her
22.
Yeah, she's like 22.
So how is that not going to your head? Where you got a chance to be in the national championship game in April last year, you got to be in the national championship game April this year, and then you get drafted number 1 overall weeks later, and then you get a chance to show that you are the queen of the sport because you already have seen 55,000 people turn out to see you. Not the team, you. That is going to go to your head, and I think a lot of that is going to her head because I think she figured that it's basketball. It'll solve itself. Everything's fine. I'll pick up everything and I'll roll. And she's learning that you have stepped to another level, and it's going to take a different level of concentration for you to be better. And I think that's why you're seeing the body language being as porous on her as it is, because I think she's also expecting for it to be smooth, for it to be easy, for it to be, well, all right, the shot's going to fall if I'm wide open. Well, the shots might fall, but the shots won't if your legs are going to betray you. And mind you, you have been playing basketball on a continuous basis since October. Most of these WNBA players, they got a little rest before they had training camp. You have to factor that into it as well.
It's a great point, Mr. Johnson.
So, all you Clark sexuals, pump your brakes. All right?
Don't give up on your queen. Yeah,
pump your brakes, because those of you who are in the Clark sexuals fan base and who know basketball, and I know some of you out there, you should have did your homework. You should have looked at the schedule first and been like, oh, wait a minute. Her first 4 games against 2 of the top 3 teams in the league. Yeah, you might want to calm down.
Playmaker, it didn't matter. That was a queen. It didn't matter. It didn't matter who they was playing. Real talk. It didn't matter who they was playing. They might as well say queen. She gonna go out there and outdo everybody because she's. They claim.
And in 2 games, she got roasted. So I'm just saying.
Won't be the last game she get roasted.
It won't be the last. That's why early growing pains. This is called growing pains, okay?
100.
Everybody goes through it.
Them. Every player in every sport has them.
That's right.
Even y'all Kang had them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this is what she got to go through. But she'll be fine. She'll be fine. But she got to go through this first. Once she goes through this, she will understand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is a different level. I can't run around and just shoot. I got to do
I need to prepare for this level. Right. I need to work on my footwork. I need to work on my vision, my handles. I need to work on all that. She'll learn that. But she ain't gonna know that because ain't nobody gonna tell her, because all the people around her are cowards to leech off her. So they're not gonna tell her the truth.
Well, you good as is, Caitlin. They just
Yeah.
And one thing I do need to do, I need to find out when they play Phoenix, because I know Diana Taurasi is looking forward to that matchup.
Oh, Diana is going to give her whatever work she got left. Diana might load management the game before just so she can be ready for it.
Not load management game before so she can get
Matter of fact, I want that game to be before the Olympics. That way they can get that game out the way.
Oh, that would be nice. Oh boy, that would be nice. And I want to say, like, Olympic years. What excites me about Olympic years is you get the stoppage in like baseball and WNBA and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a break and then you get them back after the Olympics. So you get this beginning of these seasons. And baseball is like 8 months of the year, like it's ridiculous. But you get these sports, then you get a break, then you get them to return. So you get all this fantasticness without that little lull before college football and NFL preseason. So Olympic year takes care of that for you. So God bless the Olympics for that.
Well, gentlemen, to let you know, the Fever play the Mercury in Phoenix June 30th. So they'll be playing each other 3 weeks before the Olympics begin.
All right.
And Diana's
Diana
gonna eat her alive. Because
that's what you call quick research.
Because everybody using Diana Taurasi's coach to say these veterans are a hater. Oh, Diana gonna show you who a hater is, all right.
Uh-huh. They tried to go in Asia, but they only tried to take out a piece of her actual comment. Then you seen the full comment and everybody shut up.
So tonight, 2 games on the docket. The Washington Misses at the Kinetic Sun. I don't know how the Misses going to win that one, because now that the big three is back for Kinetic, and they got a game in, especially for Brianna Jones, who's coming off a torn Achilles. I expect Brianna Jones to started working her way back into her game. She worked her way back on court, but now she's gonna work her way back into her game, which is gonna make Connecticut even more dangerous. And I actually hate that as a Liberty fan, because most likely yet again for us to get back to the front, you have to go through them again to get them.
I was trying to get out the first round.
And then game 2, we're gonna run it back. Seattle Storm and Minnesota Lynx, this time in the Twin Cities of Minnesota. So let's see what adjustments do the new look Storm have to combat what Minnesota did to them.
Storm should get their lick back.
And then tomorrow, 4 games on the docket, beginning with the running back game between the New York Liberty and the Indiana Feeder up in the Barclays Center of New York City.
What did you say, New York City?
This is, I think, if I remember correctly, this might be the first time Cody Carter is going to see a road game that she has never felt before when it comes to New York.
Definitely going against the Caitlin Clarks.
So, and then Cameron Brick, and Rakita Justin, they also on a rough patch too, along with Caitlin Clark, because now they got to go visit the champs. That's at 3 p.m. on ABC. That's after Fever and Liberty.
0-2 for the Sparks.
Cameron Brake, prepare to meet the best player in all of the W.
And arguably the second best player in all of W2.
So
That's a saucy take y'all don't like, ain't it? Not y'all, but I'm saying the other people.
I want to say second because Stewie's still playing.
I said arguably. I didn't say I said arguably. You can make an argument.
I won't even make an argument. Stewie's the
I
second
would.
best player.
I would make an argument. You take Kelsey Plum and you put her on her own team, and let's see what she do. You see her cooking on her own team, not defer. Let's see what she do.
So
Argument can be made.
So yeah, Cameron Brake, you got to go through your growing pains. You're gonna beat the champs. Hope Cameron Brake and Rakita Jackson take some lessons from this game on tomorrow, because you're gonna get a dose of what it means to be a champion. Because you're gonna see it run in fruition like a machine with the Aces.
Oh, and Playmaker, I just want to add one thing to what I said. Just one. I'll leave it alone after this. We are getting the KP Taylor Swift year. She done broke up with her husband, divorced that dude, so now she out on a mission.
Oh, so that's why she looked like the Terminator when she was on opening night. I didn't think I because I saw her. I saw Kelsey. I was like, "Doggone girl, you don't look like you're a WNBA player. You look like you're a bodyguard."
If Cole Johnson was still doing Cole Sports with a Z, I already know who would have been the Dote of the week, probably the Dote of the year. That great.
Oh, one Mr. Waller, yes.
Yeah.
Dummy.
and speaking of running it back, same building, same city. Round 2, Angel Reese. Let's see what you learned from game 1.
Not enough.
When Rika Gomawale broke you into the W in proper fashion.
Enrique gonna give her that work again.
I'm so glad you mentioned the sky. Now, have you gotten? This is a question to both of you. Have you gotten the? Well, Caitlin Clark gets on this attention. Why not Angel Reese? Comments yet?
I haven't gotten those yet.
I haven't.
What I've been getting though is Chicago Sky games are having more celebrities show up, and when you ask them why they're showing up, they're saying because of Angel
Reese.
And I can understand that. I mean, heck, she went to LSU, and Shaq shows a lot of love to her. So
and you know the funny thing is, this whole blowing up a Kate Clark didn't want to take off until Angel Reese got to her.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's exactly why I bring that up.
And they're friends. That's the ironic part. They're friends.
Yes. And they're cool with and they're girls. They're cool with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They work out together and all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just letting you know. But yeah, round 2, and then cool. Your dream would try to go 2-0.
They will.
They in Phoenix against Diane Taurasi and the Mercury. No Brittany Griner, obviously.
Statement time. Let's get it.
But the GOAT is still on the court. So anything can happen when she's on the court.
Well, the GOAT just had a really good game, though. Remember, this is the thing that I want people, and this is not a knock at all. Taurasi can't get up every night like she used to. She's been around a long time. A long time.
Are you talking about Taurasi P. Henson?
Oh, no. I'm talking about Diana Taurasi.
Really
I think Diana been around longer than Taraji P. Henson.
Really, Cole Johnson, really.
I couldn't resist, man. I couldn't resist.
So that is the W. All right. So it's been an interesting week. Playoff basketball. We got one game 7 solidified. We're gonna see if we get 1 or 2 more between tonight and tomorrow in the NBA. We got one team in the conference finals, and Cole Johnson, you want to say anything to the Boston Celtics because they wipe their hands clean with the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Yeah, I do. I want to say that yes, you have managed gentlemen sweeps against the Heat and the Cavaliers.
People say they're going to asterisk by that because they didn't have the best players.
However, I'm going to balk at that because not your statement, Playmaker. I'm going to balk at that because you all, the Celtics, you all are much better than the Heat. Definitely without Jimmy Butler. You're actually better with him, but you're exceedingly better without him. And you were better than the Cavaliers. Yet you gifted a game to each of them.
Gifted. Well, I love the word usage.
And that gives me pause about this team. Because if you're going to basically going to take nights off in the playoffs against teams you know you're better than, what happens when you play a team, definitely the Knicks, that they just are gritty, they will grind, and they don't care how the game looks, and they don't care how you look. As long as they have one more point than you, they want the W. When you have a team that is willing to put more effort into the game than you, will you stand up to that pressure? And that is a question that you should not have to ask a Jason Tatum and a Jaylen Brown-led team. Yet here we are, and we are asking that question.
All right. Cool McCain.
This brother jumped in my head and stole what I had to say. He literally jumped in my head and stole what I had to say.
I want to come for you with the Celtics. I'm coming to you. Any message to your Nuggets going into tomorrow?
Oh, yes.
Win or go home. Cole Johnson, good minute flavors are saying the two favorite words.
Game 7.
Denver. Do not, and I repeat, do not. I don't care what you got to do. I don't care how hard you got. I don't care. Play out. Only thing, do not lose this game. Everybody step up, play your game. Jokic, you the MVP. They've been hating on you. A lot of people been throwing shots at Shaq, all these cats. And that's okay. I need you to get in this game, and we need a 35-40 burger. Murray, I don't know what's going on with the elbow. Maybe you got to do assists. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you take it in, kick the passes out, do whatever you got to do. Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, 20 each. Y'all can't put 20 points up this game. Y'all don't want to advance. Bench, when you get in the game, you do what you do. Anthony Edwards is going to get his. That's fine. Don't let everybody else get theirs too. You beat them 3 games in a row. You know what it takes to beat this team. There's no more chances. It's either win or go home. Do not go home. I need to keep popping. Spit. I need y'all to win for that to happen. We going back to back. I don't care what nobody thinks. Stephen A. Smith, remember when they was 2-0 and you was talking about they over? That's why I call you the Nigger Night. That's why. And you're supposed to be the basketball player. You're supposed to play basketball. And you thought it was going to be over 0-2?
To his
Sit
defense,
your monkey clown hind pots down.
To his defense, he did come on national television and apologize.
I don't care about his apology. Shut your mouth to begin when you ain't got to apologize.
Wow.
You going hard at Stephen A. Say, what about Charles Barkley?
Charles Barkley wrong all the time. Who mad at Charles Barkley for being wrong? When Charles Barkley pick you to win, when Charles Barkley pick you to win is when you get nervous.
Wrong all the time.
Is it not?
Well, see, my thing. Here's my thing.
Yeah.
My thing is one guy is like telling people to shut up because he's doing his job, and the other guy went on that television. He apologized. He was man enough to say, "I'm sorry, I was wrong."
But you shouldn't have said it.
I get that part.
Okay. So then you understand why I don't care about his little apology.
I get that
on
part.
His apology.
A mutual friend
Mountain Dew piss on his apology.
A mutual friend of all three, I told him he needed to apologize to the Connecticut for what he said. I don't think he did it, but
hey man, Stephen A. Smith have all these outrageous, gregarious takes. And nobody don't ever say nothing because he'll get on and say, okay, guys, I was wrong. They were not finished.
At least he can say he was wrong. I mean, I get that.
To say it like that though.
Don't you respect people who can admit they wrong?
I respect people who use some basketball knowledge when they claim they played the game and say, hey, they are down 2-0, looking a little gloomy, but we got to see what happens the next game because now they're facing elimination. Because basically, you go down 3-0, you're done.
That's it. Yeah.
I'm with you.
But
I'm with you from the
I'm
beginning.
just saying.
Like, ain't they the
I'm just
reigning
saying.
champions? And like, you just gonna write them up like that? Like what are we doing here?
Yeah. Then you want to come back and do what you always do, the same old trash apology you always give. The same trash apology.
Cole Johnson, I'm on the Nuggets. I just have a feeling Joker's gonna go for 40, even though Anthony Edwards gonna go for 40.
I give Joker credit for one thing. It's one last thing, and I'll shut up. When I saw him stand up over on the side, and he had that Diddy party face, or that Prince face when they was playing basketball. When he had that face, I was like, "Yeah, we about to get it tonight. We get into Game 7."
I say Anthony Edwards gonna go for 40. I say Joker going for 40, but it's in the Mile High City, and I'm pretty sure Denver ain't trying to lose to Minnesota for a third time in that building. So I'm rolling with the champs.
Diddy party face. Lord.
Cole Johnson, where you at?
Well, I know I upset my brother Cool when I said I wanted 7 when we began this series.
It's Cole's fault. It's all Cole's fault.
But I'm happy. I'll take that fault. I ain't apologizing for a thing.
Yeah, don't be Stephen A. Smith. Stand by it, sir.
That's
Don't be
right.
Stephen A. Smith.
As the children say, I'm standing on business. I wanted 7. I got 7.
You got it.
I don't believe, and I'm not saying this because Cool's here. This is what I believe. I don't believe that the Timberwolves have enough experience to overtake the defending champs yet. I think this is a great learning experience for them. I think they needed to have this type of series so they know that they can actually hang with a team like the Nuggets. They don't have enough to beat them. And when I say enough, they have the talent. I'm not sure if they have the moxie to go into Denver in a Game 7 situation where the opposing team is going to play with probably even more desperation than you. And even if that home team did not have a championship, that is one extra layer. But this team also is a defending champs. And defending champs fight with a little bit more of a fight than a normal team would if they are defending home court in a 7th game.
Especially when you get beat by 45. So you know everybody's on your ass.
And then they have the added motivation that
I think Minnesota did us a favor.
Yeah. And they have the added motivation that they are coming off of a 45-point thumping. And so they believe now that this team is going to come into their building and they're going to think it's house money. And I know Mike Malone is getting in their behinds now. They got in his behinds probably when they were flying back to Denver.
No, did he?
And probably will get in their behinds before they tip off Sunday. And definitely will get in their behinds tomorrow. And actually saying that this team disrespects you. You should show them what we do to teams that disrespect us. And they should put it out on them. And I don't see the Timberwolves having enough experience to overthrow the Nuggets, especially in Denver.
All right. You ready here? There's a clean sweep here for the Nuggets to get back to the Western Conference Finals. And I'm saying they're going to meet the Dallas Mavericks. Shea ain't going to have no help.
I am too.
And this is going to be the game where Kyrie Irving shows up.
And you mentioned why they're going. You mentioned why they're.
It would be real nice though if OKC could win this game because OKC with the 1-man team. I'm a 1-man team. I wouldn't be upset if we played them. Yeah, man.
Cool wants the easy route back to the chip.
However, though,
I'm just kidding.
However, though, you would not have the home court advantage against the Thunder.
He don't care about that because it's OKC.
No, I get that, and I would say I don't think that would matter as much, but
Yeah.
it is.
But no, I just wanted to get the one man team in there.
That is
I don't think
hilarious.
they're gonna win.
That is hilarious.
And
I just been saving that.
Madison Square Garden, get ready for a game 7 on Sunday.
I agree.
3:30.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel that Tyrese Halliburton finna go back and drop 35 like he did in games 3 and 4. Miles Turner not gonna get destroyed on the boards like he did in game 5.
And we might have a Pascal Siakam sighting.
Oh, he's been the main consistent one out of the whole darn team.
No, I mean one that's even more pronounced than.
Yeah, like we need to get something done.
You calling for Spicy P.
We want a Toronto Pascal sighting.
Cole Johnson's calling for Spicy P to show up, right? Pascal
Spicy.
He wants Spicy P to show up.
Spicy P.
Exactly, brother. That's exactly what I mean.
But
like
if the Knicks do want to win Game 6,
now I'm thinking about Euphoria.
Coach Tom Thibodeau, you better see. Here's my problem with the New York Knicks. You only got 7 bodies, so Coach tells you got to play this wisely.
Yeah, that's true.
I agree.
But you got to go all in to win too, though. You know what I'm saying?
Like I say, you got to play this wisely, though.
But Tibbs gonna have them boys playing defense because one thing about Tibbs, he play defense.
They will grind. They'll
grind,
they'll ball. Any Tibbs
he'll put the daggone ball boy out there and he'll give him 10, 15 minutes on defense.
Any Tibbs team, yeah, they will not be short on effort and they will be not short on playing defense.
So with that being said, y'all enjoy the weekend. All right.
Oh, but don't forget, 7:30, youtube.com/the real play callers. Come and check out your boy, half of the tag team champions, Interactive Sports Talk. We're gonna be live, and it's gonna be a nanny.
Check Cool McCain out tonight. Y'all enjoy the weekend. You enjoy your hockey playoffs, enjoy your NBA playoffs, enjoy your WNBA season. Matter of fact, even enjoy the PGA Championship.
That's right.
Yeah, I gotta check what happened with my boy. They locked him up and everything.
So
yeah,
he made it. He went 500 today.
They had him in there playing Akon. I'm locked up. They won't let me out.
He got out and shot 500 today. They put him at 900 for the tournament.
That's good. That's good.
So he's in the mix.
That's good.
So enjoy all that. And
did they play? Did they say convict before everyone is shot?
And programming note, I know y'all used to me doing shows on Wednesdays and Fridays. I'll be back Monday.
Oh, you want to preview the conference finals?
I'll be back. Okay. I'll be back Monday.
What time you gonna be on Monday, Playmaker? You gotta let them know what time.
So Monday gonna be around about probably 2:00 because me and you gotta do Monarchs Arrest.
Yeah, we got a little business around 6:30. You know what I'm saying?
I might be going on around 2:00. But before you get to me at 2:00 on Monday, Cole Johnson with the morning show 8:00 in the morning.
That's right.
Be there or be square. And if you haven't been watching, go back and watch the videos. They good.
Thank you, brother.
So
I appreciate that.
I know Cole Johnson will be busy on Monday, so he won't be joining me.
Right.
On that Monday show. So I might be solo. As my co-host, he'll be getting ready for Monarchs Wrestling, making sure everything's on point, ready to go. So you'll get me solo Monday, and I'll be here. Most likely the preview championship. Conference championship.
Might slide on for a little bit. You never know.
Because we'll be down to the Final Four in my estimation. And then we're gonna recap the week, took place in the WNBA. We're gonna see if Peyton Clark or the rookies, found their footing yet. Or they still going through their growing pains. So y'all catch me Monday. Catch Cole Johnson on the morning show, Monday through Fridays, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
That's right. And
then Cool McCain will be live tonight. Sports callers. Then he'll be
7:30. Play callers.
Then me and him Monday evening again. Get ready for Monday night, Raw.
And then Wednesday,
Eagles Week.
Already. 8:30 p.m. EST, y'all. I'm down to 3 right now. All 3 of them.
And speaking of which, go back and catch Rambly Talk from yesterday.
Good show, by the way, bro.
I actually did watch that. It was a good show.
I gave you some behind the grind from episode 1. along with the NFL schedule release. So thank y'all for tuning in on this edition of Shooting Lights Out, sponsored by Fanatics, Paramount Plus, and Lids. For Cole Johnson, Cool McCain, I am the Playmaker down there, Silence. We'll catch y'all next week.
Put some respect on the names.
Holla at you.
You've done great, but you can't stop here. You can't stop now. You gotta keep going. Through all your trials and your tribulations, you gotta keep pushing. Now, finish your canvas.
Yeah, gotta get it out the mud, that's the only way to win. Who am I to point the finger like I never ever seen? Been through the ups and downs like the letter N. They don't let you through the door, better kick that again. Cause that's the only way to win. That's the only way to go. Gotta get it out the mud, gotta get it out the floor. Cause that's the only way to go, let's go.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If you want to follow the podcast, you can follow it on all streaming platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and a whole lot more. This has been Shooting Lights Out.